think I was gonna stream, but I'm here. I got ready a little bit to stream and I was just like, I don't have any energy. Let's go. What's up, Chris? How's it going? Sorry, I had to restart my stream. Oh, there's just a weird random VOD on my channel. I had to go and archive. What is up, you guys? So we have like options tonight with what we can start with. I was just gonna do a poll. Say currently can't fall asleep and saw your live was coming on. Oh, awesome. Glad to hear it. Let me look here. I'm gonna set up a quick poll. What is going on with my voice? That's the real question. What is happening with my voice? I don't know. Create a new poll. What are you gonna ask? Then we can just chat while this poll is going for the next 5 minutes. How about that? How are all y'all doing? The vibes. We also haven't played Hogwarts in a while, but I know that this is a cozy stream and that can be slightly louder during moments, but it can also be kind of cozy. Oh. I'm keeping myself just for your stream, but I did take a nap. Oh my gosh, I feel bad. You can always watch the VODs. I'm never gonna, I don't want to impact your life negatively. But I think I just get my sudden burst of energy at like 10, 11 p.m. I hit a real slump around like 5 or 6 if I'm even alive at that hour. Like this more. Like, are you in or are you out here? Yeah. And I don't like drink coffee or anything, and I am broker than hell right now, so I'm just like tired and have nothing better to do. Just waiting on that visibility. Cool, cool. Ooh, so far all the votes are for Disney. Discernibility. That it feels like. Yeah. No, so what happened was I wasn't gonna stream. I got halfway through. I curled my hair a little bit. Got halfway done through putting my makeup on. I was like falling asleep. I was like watching Hassan's IRL in Japan stream, which was cracking me up. And I was like, I just want to lay in bed and do nothing. And I'm so tired. I might even just like fall asleep at like 8:30. And then I laid there and then I realized like 2 hours later that I wasn't asleep. And then I wanted to play Dreamlight. And I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to play a game and I have makeup and my hair done, I might as well do it with all y'all. And then I got like a little burst of energy and I was like, okay, let's do this. So I am very glad I'm here with y'all. Very happy. Like I said, it looks like Disney's winning this one, which I'm okay with. That's kind of where my gut instinct went to, but we can also end the night with some Sims. If we're feeling that. I was gonna do not such a chaotic Sim stream. We're not gonna be doing like crazy mods and stuff. I just like want to play the game like kind of honestly. Like I always do motherload. Like that's always basically gonna happen because I can't stand to live in like a little shack of a house and have things get set on fire. But I do want to play it, like my sister plays it in like the most sweet and wholesome way, and that way to me is like very relaxing to watch. That's the kind of Sims I watch. I watch both, but it's kind of crazy how there's different genres for sim streamers and creators and whatnot. But it looks like Disney's has it so far. If you haven't voted yet, get that vote in. But Danny, if I were you, I would get ready to start changing that info, because it's a landslide right there. I think so, at least. But there's, I don't know, playing your Switch in bed is definitely a different gaming experience than like being in front of a ton of bright lights on camera with a mic and like having to be like conscientious of being somewhat entertaining. But that's why I was like, oh yeah, I can cozy stream too. Like there's streams where like first of all, there's streams where people don't even have their camera on. There's streams where people like they don't even talk. They just like speed run or something, and I'm like, oh, I can kind of do whatever I'm feeling. So yeah, I am happy to be here overall. Ooh, Dreamlight 1. All right, Danny, you know what to do. I'm gonna go ahead and get that set up. How many days did it say I've spent playing this game? His nobilities are the best, no bias. Agreed. All right, I should probably put my glasses on, because as cute as I look and all, I don't have contact lenses yet, and pretty hard on my eyes when I try to do this, so we're gonna have to look a little dorky, and that's okay. A little dorky and feel a little crooked, because these glasses are messed up, kids. They are bent. They are bent. Okay. Here we go. Thank you very much, Danny. You're very sweet. Okay, I hate it when it does that and it's not an actual one. Because we recently just quit the game. We recently just like beat the game for now. I'm gonna be keeping it pretty chill tonight. So I'll be interacting with chat here and there, but as far as being the rambunctious, chaotic Brina I normally am, you might be having a little bit of a different experience tonight. Hopefully that's a good thing for you. Hopefully you're trying to sleep, or maybe just relax. But either way, I am very sensory overloaded by this music. We're running so slow. Oh, your stream title is funny. Thank you so much. I actually don't even know what it is. What do we make it? Something on a budget. Thank you. I appreciate that. Shout out to Danny for that title. Okie dokie. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Thank you so much for the first time chat. Some coins. And more cats moving around over here. Wiggle pee. Well, eventually is to like create that storage room, but honestly, I don't even know where to start. There's videos on it. I'm the kind of person that just wants to figure it out. That seems like a lot of work. I come to different streams to spread love and positivity as much as I can. I never played this, so when I watch, I'm literally lost. It's okay. It's just Animal Crossing and a Disney font. Does that help? Just chilling and hanging out with people. That's awesome. Well, thank you for coming and stopping by. I'm not normally this hoarse, but hopefully that works for all y'all tonight. We're gonna be getting some nobody, I don't think ASMR is even possible for my voice, but hopefully it's less screechy and crazy and loud than it normally is. This one. Ooh. I love refrigerators. Okay, ASMR. When I hear noises, I can look up brain sounds on YouTube. Okay. That would be kind of funny, although sometimes it does rain in this game, so it does give its own version of ASMR. As far as I can go. So many dang pumpkins. Okay, so the goal, what I was gonna do next. When I play Dreamlight, I have to scoot in so far. Get real up in here. Much better. Me at night. Oh my god, we gotta eat something. To move my mic arm some way different so I can see. There we go. Like, I can't see chat. I normally can, so there's clearly something wrong. Pink noise. Pink noise is kind of like, it's kind of like white noise, only I don't know. I think I listen more brown noise, but brown noise I would describe as like the low humming of like being in a plane, you know? It was way too close. I'm just bumping everything right now. Scar is just laying in the garden. So many object sounds. Okay, we gotta figure out all those codes too, huh? Brown noise is great. White noise, like an AC. Yeah, AC for sure. I feel like that's comforting to you specifically because you live in Southern California. Speaking of which, we buy this fan. I wonder if it'll actually provide some pink noise. Just for the sake of this argument. thanks. We already bought the rest of this stuff. Maybe go up here. I didn't want that couch.
Good day, dear.
I'm gonna try to order some counters. What would it be? Client tables? I guess that is considered a table. I would think this one. Order. God, how many can I get? Okay, get 25. Is it gonna be like a limit? Yeah, daily order limit reach. That's what I figured, but that's fine.
Goodbye now. Toodaloo.
I guess we can just try to do this little task while we're at it. I listen to noises because I get distracted. Yeah, oh my gosh, when I am anxious, that shit is so overstimulating. Like, I get it. I just need like complete. College dorm had the AC. Ollie! Ollie! He's in my closet. That's why he's making crazy noises. You dork. Really good hearing, and if I heard strange noises and I get paranoid, absolutely. That's what I was thinking about. I was thinking about playing Phasmophobia tonight, and I was like, no, I am vulnerable, okay? Because I'm scared. I'm a scaredy cat. I'm scared of things in general. So we need what? Fiber? We have all those things. I'm just gonna go get those feathers. I want to find more of those clues. There they are. Donald, can we rob you? No. Oh, we can sit on it though. What does that even, does it restore our energy? I thought that was a new thing. Very slow. It does it very slowly. Interesting. Okay, well, let's go home. Okay, I need fiber. Nope, this is all food. Hey guys, this is why I need to be organized. Uh-oh. Bro, we need fiber specifically. Fiber, fiber, fiber. There we go. There's one thing. I have to have fiber. Here it is. You have enough? Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Didn't even need to fix that auto mod. What does this even do? Okay. We need fiber. Fiber. Refined material. How many do we need? 10? Was it 10? Let's go. Just Anna. Where are you at, girly? I swear to God, this thing has a screw that makes it so this thing doesn't tilt back so dang much. Where it is, I don't know. Beats me. I like lean forward so hard. So it leans back by itself so much. Here, I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna go insane. Yay! Fixed it. This is driving me nuts. Driving me up the wall. I can yell tonight. Ooh, what's happening? Is it fixed or did I just make it so much worse? I think I just broke it. I think I just broke it. Fix it. Let me just go to me. Because we're not even looking at anything and you guys should just be in on the fun. You know? Let's see. Perfect. You guys get a POV. POV, me trying to fix my chair. Why would the left be the Titan? Arm workout for the night. God. Please tell me that worked. Please. Please, God. Tell me that worked. Don't look at that. Don't look at the cords. That was the one. I was like, that has to be the way. It has to be the way. Here we go. Not the chair. Hey, it helped our viewership, so whatever, you know? We'll just have a gaming like corner while I'm gaming and we're just talking. Well, there's like tiny games in the corner. How about that? Does that work for everybody? Okay, we're back. Sorry about that little interruption. Thank you so much. You're very sweet. You know what? I do need to adjust my... Oh, not that. Ooh, how about that? Wow, now you guys can actually see me. Speaking of which, I cannot see myself. I'm okay without these. These are like hurting my head with the headphones. I have a nightmare. A little bit. All right, we are back. We gotta go to Anna. Where's she at? To the pumpkins. Hello. What is up, Lumi? How are you? Welcome back. We're just getting up to some cozy gaming. She's sitting out here in her bear chair in the woods. Nice. Love it. Stunning.
Hey,
All
you're here.
those things. More sim sucking tonight, looks like. Yeah. Yeah, I needed some time away from that. It was getting to be a little too much for me. Getting a little bit too much for my brand. I'm pretty crazy sometimes. It was kind of traumatizing. Also, part of me saying I'm cozy gaming tonight, I'm not going to read these out loud. Sorry. I just can't. I'm too hoarse for it. Uh-oh.
Hmm. Huh? Oh.
Who's gonna play him? Chill vibes are good? Good. This is like Animal Crossing in a Disney skin, basically. Just realized chat looks so messed up. Just in my picture. And that oop. And that oop. That oop. Stop doing that. Here we go. Beautiful. Didn't even realize it's a bear chair, right? It's terrifying a little bit. Did you break the bad news to him? I'll let him know. With my job in real life.
Yeah.
But perfectly. Here it is. Oh. Interested. Hang in there. I'm trying. I really am. Okay, you're turning it all off. Oh god, we gotta break him with the bad news over dinner? Not over dinner. It was chocolate until I saw the bear face. Oh, chocolate sounds so good. I want one of those chocolate frogs. I wish I had one of those chocolate frogs right now. Here, I'm gonna go get that chest. Lose sight of it.
Oh, well, Hakuna Matata.
What in the Stevie Wonder was that? Mufa, or no, Mufa, Simba. I'm getting you mixed up with your dad. I was with him last night. Ayo! Where are we supposed to go again? Oh, hydrate, thank you. I needed that actually. Oh, we got some foods in here. Where are you? Olaf was here. Oh, he's right here. He wants coffee. Hey. Okay, we should just make him his food first because he's going to be very upset. Coffee, fish pasta, omelets, party salad. Omelet, where you at? I know my alphabet. Nice. Yeah, we're in Club 33 for real, for real. You don't use start. I haven't had sweets in a long while and be sad. They're candy drugs. Oh my God. I look for sugar in the night like it's a nicotine vape. Maybe not, like maybe worse. Like, maybe worse. Instead of a chocolate bunny, chocolate bear, that would be so cute. Shit, I forgot what the other ones are. Okay, I know one of them is coffee. Hearty salad and something else. It was the other one. Was it some type of soup? Hearty salad. It's a green salad. Let's see, hearty salad. No, there is. Didn't imagine that. It's just three lettuce. That looks like my kind of salad with the corn and the cucumber. Oh! Okay. Let's go. Oh, omelet, hearty salad, coffee, fish pasta, fish pasta, fish pasta. What's the matter, you are? Where's our baby boy? Come here, baby boy. Come here with me. Is that better? No, that's worse. Oh, it's because I go to the table. Work. I don't know. It'll be fine. It'll be good right there. He's here with me. You love the baby Remy. Aww. How goes the Disney adventuring? It's going good. It's going great. I think my small town has a Costco. My Costco is so far away and I can't even afford a membership. So, and again, to like actually pay like $100 at Costco. Ooh. Fish pasta. Fish pasta. Fish pasta. There's fish everything. Fish Creole, fish pasta, fish sandwiches, fish soup, fish Mamma Mia, shrimp, shrimp corn, shrimp grits, shrimp fried shrimp, shrimp Creole, shrimp garlic shrimp, spicy shrimp. Title super relatable. All the Disney fix minus the huge Disneyland World price tag. Hey, sincerely Sunshine Cat. Thank you so much for the follow. Really appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Of course, everyone deserves warm sunshine. Oh yeah. Ratatouille ride in Disney World is pretty badass. I want to go. Oh my God, we have dreaded Walmart and Target. I don't even have a Walmart, and my Target is built into a mall, and it's so tiny. Terrible. I think that was it for food. Should we make more of these? Caparis, caparazza. Yay! There's a Ratatouille ride. It is so cool. I know, I've never even been to Disney World. And Danny and I both used to be cast members at Disneyland. Can you believe that? And we are going this weekend. I was hoping to IRL stream, but we'll see if we can do that. We'll try. We will try. I'm gonna try to do it from our phones. So wish us luck. Danny, don't let me forget to hack the microphones and charge them. Do our best. Yeah, I only worked at Starbucks though. It wasn't anything super special. But Danny had a really cool job. He worked at the front entrance. Easy salad, ma. Or not a salad, it's fish pasta. That looks kind of like decomposed a little. What was the word I was looking for? Decomposed. Oh, okay. We need her to be mining. For sure. I love gardening. Well, I need to be mining more. I also need to have somebody. I can move the other ones to gardening too. Let's go. Oh, we have another mission available. Shut
Thanks
up.
for coming over.
Shut up. Hi. Your order. Why are you giving me the Riz? Look at those eyes. He's giving me the eyes, you guys. Still, Disneyland is pretty cool. Yeah, getting free admission is not bad. Yeah. The level up. Woo. I love to cook and bake. He made chicken chili. Oh, that sounds so funny. I know he's giving him the eyes. Look at this. Cheater. He has the thing for the freaking redheads, you guys. None of us are safe. What did you say? Aren't you married? Your wife is in this town, my guy.
Whoa!
Looks really good. The food in this game looks so appetizing. You just got a coffee. I could make you the world and you want. I mean, I guess I'm gonna kill you anyways if you drink it. I hope it was iced. Doesn't look like it. He loves his coffee, and now we're gonna break him the bad news.
This is the best day of my life.
That is disturbing. A very disturbed child made that. I think I'm the disturbed child that made that. Explains a lot. Definitely explains a lot. She's judging. She's looking right into my soul right now, you guys. I don't know if you can see this, but we are making eye contact in the real world. She is breaking the fourth wall. Real Housewives of Dreamlight Valley. Literally, the drama continues everywhere we go. I can't help it. Look at Anna. She can't. Buying their tickets and starting to gather. Who's gonna fill in? Who's the only other redhead we know?
Huh?
Who's brave and plucky and leaps into danger without a thought for themselves and... Don't target me because I'm a people pleaser, okay? Found this Donald Duck mask. I'll do it, okay. Whatevs. I don't know the lines. Dude, do you guys... I have nightmares, maybe because I was a little theater kid. It's so embarrassing. I hide that. I guard that info with my life, you guys. I'm sharing that with you. That was very vulnerable of me, okay? But I was a theater kid. I was embarrassing. I was an attention whore, to say the least. Anyways, shit, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I still have nightmares about like, oh yeah, no, you're in this play and like you had to memorize this whole like script, like movie script length. For some reason I'm in a movie, and you gotta go up and do it and go. Like I always have those dreams where I'm like have to have something memorized and I'm like, oh, I didn't do it. You know what I mean? The character from behind looks like the mayor's assistant from Powerpuff Girls. I love that. The Donald Duck mask. Oh, we gotta rehearse.
Oh, thanks.
We have to put it on.
This makes me so happy.
Oh, good. Just for all of you. This is actually kind of a serve. Do you like how she did, like, she posed? You should just take a quick, hey, you want to get a picture? Oh, not you. No, goodbye.
See you later.
Smile. What even is that? What even was this? I have little claws. Olaf, smile, somebody. I might as well be holding a knife. Ooh, I finished a task. Are you happy? Are you satisfied? Kind of sick in the head that we have his feathers taped to the side of it like that. I'm wearing it like a trophy. I don't want you to see this. I agree. I don't even see the guy. I might as well be him. We're not gonna make fun of him for being visually impaired, okay? I am also. Okay. Aha! It is I, the courageous woodsman and ice deliverer, Kristoff. I'm Ronald Ruck. That's racist. Disney. You're making some interesting choices, Frina. I agree. Wait, why? Yeah, why does he rub the nubs of his legs like that? I don't get it. Either my feathered friend and I are on a quest. Okay. Some sort of dark entity stealing the orb of courage. Alright, you can come back now. I think it's safe. I think you're good. Yeah, I don't know why he's like, it looks like a butt. It looks like a booty a little bit. You guys see this action? It's very spherical. It looks soft. Slim thick as fuck. Olaf. Damn. It's time for my line. Why? That's more of a Wally thing to say. That's always the right thing to say. But I like that you're experimenting. Thank you, Olaf. The dark entity is escaping through that mysterious portal. Okay, Brina, it's time for your big stunt. Leap through the air like you're jumping through a portal in the dark, mysterious world. Was that good? I'll nail this part. I'll stop you, you vile villain. The glitch. I hope it captured that glitch, because that could not have been better time. It looks like we just went boom really fast. Let me please clip that. I can't. The stunt was stunning. It was stunting. I made some bold choices that are divisive with the audience, but I liked them. That's usually what my audience also says on Twitch. It's not that different. All we need to do, set up the stage in Frosted Heights so we can put on the play. Beautiful. All right, we should talk to her while we're here. Hey, Grandma. My dear, would you have time for a little chat about the Forgotten Lands? Okay. I love the mood. It gives me nightmares though, for real. She did not like that. She's giving like Patrick Snap. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like that Cursed Patrick meme? It looks like Cursed Patrick Star. I wish it was my grandma. My dead grandma was mean. Oh, dang. Danny, link me the clip in the chat. I'll click on it.
You've been so helpful.
Fire alarm. What? Voilà les jopas, les villogetes. Are we putting it? Frosted Heights. Ooh, did you guys hear that rain? Ooh, that's nice. That's nice. I like the rain sounds. We should put rain sounds in the background. Actually, just a good idea.
Discover the world of podcasting with Spotify for podcasters. Create, distribute, and monetize your podcast.
I didn't realize never mind. Why is Spotify in the ad? What the hell? Okay. Rain sounds on YouTube. Here we go. It's nice. I still got my mask on, you guys. Can only help until midnight. Oh man, I'm gonna click on that. In the dark, mysterious world. Was that good? Mysterious world. Was that good? I'll nail this part. I'll stop watching you vile villain. Oh, it did do it. It did do it. Let me see. Let me see. Da 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 da. Let me da 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 do do do. Okay, here we go. You vile villain in the dark, mysterious world. Was that good? Look, there's two of me. Hi, me. Hi, me. I'll stop you, you vile villain. That. It looked like I went like sonic speed. I hope it captured that glitch because that could not have been better. Let my kitchen tell me once really that once I open my doors. I'm so lost in the chat. Was that good? Aw, yeah, thank you for lurking. I still appreciate it. Cozy stream, it's perfect for that. Villain. What's replaying? I just realized. Wow, that was special, y'all. Thank you for watching that with me. Now we must continue. Stage anywhere. Not quite there. Real quick, go. Little baby. I don't remember if the sturgeons are white or blue rings. It's just a salmon. Okay, where are we gonna put this dang thing? Here? Like here? I don't know. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Oh my god, we love it. The picture of everybody at the show. Ooh. A little aerial shot. That's great. Make a little artsy. I want to make sure we have everybody. That'll work. Wow, we love it. How cute. That was so pointless that I repositioned
Excuse
it
me.
like that.
Hi, I find myself in need of some help.
Where you at, boy?
Hello.
Who's Samantha? Yeah, who's Samantha? I'm not sure, but I hope you enjoyed the play. It's like, wait, new character? You gave me a box? I love how he turns around and gives me, oh, give me snow. Permafrost. Oh.
That's amazing.
Wow. Great, we did it. Yay. Who is this freaking kook? Okay. That one's sneaky. Yeah, cuss words are totally fine. I cuss all the freaking time. You should have seen our stream last night. I have to, for the love of God, change my look. Is that not considered a mask? Is it a hat? That's cute. By the way, I love the idea of wearing this with like I love it. Okay, wait. Gotta give her some different shoes. Some boots. They're great. A cowboy, baby! Ding. Go back. Spots. Empty spots. Any empty spots. Any at all. There's so much crap. We're a hoarder, y'all. Be good enough. Okay, I need to find the rest of these damn alien toys or I'll lose my mind. My autocorrect messed up my sentence. I was gonna try to say that's the dopest shot glass I've seen. That's the dopest shit glass I've seen. That's such an unfortunate autocorrect. Bless you. Oh my god. You meant the best. You really did. You really meant the best. What's even funnier is like when you're angry, you're trying to sound angry and then it autocorrects like fuck to duck or fucking to ducking, or it just like autocorrects it and then you sound really dumb and it like really takes the punch out of what you're trying to say. Oh my gosh, that came out of nowhere. Who else's house have I not checked? Who have I not checked? Who have I not checked? Maybe hers? Checked everywhere. These ones, maybe? I feel like I've checked everywhere. I'm gonna try to check here again. I feel like I checked there. I'm gonna go into every dang house, I swear. I find these dang aliens. Okay, Minnie's house checked. Gonna check this area. I feel like it's gonna be in like Elsa's den or some shit. Does she live up here? Oh, they live over here. Over here. See how much weighs the standard for every smartphone now, but what I want to say, but I will silence autocorrect. Yeah, well, because I type using autocorrect and it works that way like 80% of the time. Here we are. This is Disneyland. Here you go. Here's all my money. Here you go. Here you go. That was, wow, that was great. What a great day. I got a headband for $400. I ate lunch for $400. I sure did. Any aliens? No aliens here. Maybe Buzz and Woody's houses. I don't know if I've checked them. I don't have that kind of money for an iPhone. I feel bad. Is allowed on the new iPhone update? Good to know. Little chest. Badge the aliens in the show. Yes! Okay, we got two. The last one's in his house. They better freaking be. I swear to God, they better be in his house. Let's go! Here you go, BB. I've been doing this task for like a month. Let's go. Ugh. Only a few missing aliens. Oh my God. Okay. I don't know what good that does for us, but alright. Tell me. If only I'm gonna go dig a hole, dig a hole. Well, that was fun. Okay. Oh my god, a demon! That was a freaking jump scare. God, you're just walking around like that?
Ever want to lock yourself in your room and listen to music?
Yeah. Run away from. What the fuck was that? What was her problem? I died. You'll have to watch the VOD to find out. Kidding. No, that is my dark alter ego that we've accepted in the village, I guess. It makes sense in the context of the story. There's my... Okay, best... You'll get Dreamlight Fruit. So much music! That your character's... Yeah. Trying to take over the land. Exactly, exactly. I don't like the way it talks. To be quite honest with you. Where are you? Oh, he's running! Why are you running? Yes, I got the freaking Grimace milkshake, the Grimace birthday meal earlier, and I got the milkshake, dude, and the rest of it melted. Look at it. Like separated the purple from the rest of like the milk. That's wrong. There's something really wrong about that. Ah! Man down.
See ya.
Hey, bird. Is this a shot? Is this shot? The answer was Merlin was on a magical meth. Trying to be your friend to help him gather more dreamlight us to take over the land. No. No, but you're close. You're pretty close. The only difference is that I am the crazy meth head trying to take over this valley. And I'm being groomed by the evil villagers to do their bidding. Really sweet game for kids. I'm joking. Good, I already had my shovel out. You guys see that? Love, where
I
are
just
you?
know we're going to be good friends.
He is the meth head trying to take over this town. Him. He is the one. Are you freaking kidding me? Oh my god. I just had to make sure. Okay, it's okay about it. You know, I haven't seen Tinkerbell yet, but she's around here somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Thank you, Danny. This place is creepy. Gotta talk to Mother Gothel. Mommy Gothel, where are you at, Mommy? Where's Mommy Gothel? Gotta go talk to Mommy Gothel. Mommy. Here she is.
What
Is she
a
turning to Woody?
pleasure. Mm-hmm.
Christ. I was trying to do this fast. Oh my god. The other day, Disney is drugs.
Ah. I can't believe I found Simba. And he's alive.
Good to know, Nala. You're interrupting. Make the fertilizer. Okay. We get the plateau water. Empty vial. Grab it, or do we gotta fish for it? Interacts. Easy. Yes, Danny was born without arms. It's true. It's actually true. That is not sarcasm. I think you can check our Discord. I posted a picture there, right? Yay. Look at all these are pretty cute though. Let's go. I'm not seeing it. There it is. This. Ooh, okay. Fuck! I just used it. Oh wait, it just applies to my watering can. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I thought I just ruined it. That scared the crap out of me, y'all. I really thought I fucked up. I don't know if that did anything. Just watering random shit. Probably just totally wasted it.
Hey there.
Use a part of the valley, then water the flowers. Okay, I'm fine. From Drew Light Tree. Sounds a little strange, but okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
Ooh.
So long.
Oh. Let's water a bunch of flowers. Easy. Hey. Gotcha, gotcha. Ooh, it's Elsa Beach. It's cool to see y'all having sweet conversations. Sorry I'm not as much in the loop. I love looking back at everything later. Like I said, I'm much more interactive normally, but we're doing a pretty chill, quiet stream tonight. But please feel free to chat. Like, doesn't mean I will not interact. It's just if I don't seem like I'm reading everything, it's purely because I am distracted. Yes, we appreciate you and being here. Thank you so much. More. There it is. Ooh. And then go to Simba. Where is he? That's all the way up here.
Hey there. So long.
Love how he says so long as if I'm not running behind a moving lion. I'm in pursuit, y'all. I did help a lot. Thank you very much. Ooh, I really like the Little Mermaid. I also like Up. I also love Winnie the Pooh. I love Wally. I have a lot of faves. It's hard to pick one. Ooh, he looks all aggressive. Look at them looking all aggressive ears. My cats do that all the time. Is that sexy aggressive ears though? Are they into it? He just asked her out on a date. Why are they so mad?
Hi.
Hello.
Aw. Woohoo!
Things look so goofy.
Uh-huh. Huh. Wow.
Amazing. We did it. You have any other quests? Go talk to her. Where is she? In the restaurant? Probably, yeah. Oak. Man was like, oh, Lion King is so good. Ooh, Aladdin's really good. Those are Toy Story, Tarzan, they're all so good. Yeah, OG ones for sure. Yeah, OG, I really liked Little Mermaid. And then Aladdin would be like my top two. And then Lion King is a real close second, you know what I'm saying? Seafood platter. Hi, creepy grandma. Oh? Are we gonna put out the fire? Let's go. Tourmaline. There's green color, some snowballs. Yep. Got it. An icy enchantment. Ooh, we just need the vial. Thank God. That was a lot of crap. I'm like, oh, it's gonna take me forever. Yeah, Danny has it locked down. He even has like phone backgrounds for every genre that he loves. And like with each one of his favorite characters. Very meticulous about it. Very methodical. What do I need? I need S. A bunch of that. Twice. Okay. Half the icy enchantment. Yeah. Is it? Okay, and now we go talk to her. Oh wait, now we go do the fires. Go to the Forgotten Lands. For the character count? Oh no, I'm so sorry. I think it's like a 250 character limit. It's like a tweet. Just to prevent, I know it sucks, but it's just if you break apart your text, you should be fine. It's just to prevent spammers because we got bot attacked a while ago, and it's one of the only ways that I can protect it. So people will send like massive blocks of text, and the lowest limit that you can have, or not the lowest limit, the highest limit that you can have is 250 bucks if you have the limiter on. Okay. Ooh. Glass? I love that, actually. That's so smart. Science Disney. I'm gonna put them all out. I fell into a burning ring of fire. Went down, down, down. I love that they're just straight up glass and not sand that you have to like go gather at the beach. That's nice. Winnie the Pooh, yeah. Oh, those are all great. What is that thing? The new tree? Oh, I've been looking forward to putting that one out for so long. So long. I swear to God, I heard a scream. Didn't even do it. A big old one. Oh, it's somebody's going ba 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 ba. Oh, it's Wally. Oh, that was beautiful at the end. Little auto tune. I know. Wait, I thought you said you leveled her up all the way. Guess you hadn't. Guess I'm a little bit more ahead than you are. I can make fun of Danny. He's my friend, you guys. He's my best friend, actually. Fun fact. The real ones would know. A beautiful anglerfish. Any more fires? Probably is, and I'm just not seeing them. Maybe. Do you wear wigs? Maybe. Will you wear wigs? When will you wear wigs? Have you worn wigs? Controllers died and you haven't played them since then? Oh, I thought you did. My mistake. Hey. Hey, Mommy Gothel, how are you? Rude, get out of here. Where is she? Are you still in here? Yep, you are. Nope, no, what am I doing? That was helpful, and now I have a mark thing on him. Good, one job. One job. I've been busy working and modding. Was Charlotte's Web, was it a Disney movie? I don't think so, but it was good.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. Ah. Oh.
Decorate the Forgotten Lands. Oh my god, that's gonna take forever. I don't know about that one. We have the other furniture to set up the other room. Oh god, why does she look like that on the map? No. Hate that. Let's see. Oh god! When did you get here? Why? Why? Run, Woody, she killed you, remember? She displayed your lifeless corpse like a trophy on the shelf. Stay away from her, okay? She's danger. It's dangerous. Ooh, Brave Little Toaster is Disney. Yeah, that one I for sure knew. What is this behind her house? Excuse me. Okay, so we gotta make the the lands more pretty. Okay, oh, that shouldn't be too hard. Right? Okay, what do they mean by pass? Do a brick road. Okay. Be less scary. Never done this actually. Oh, okay. Why can't I extend it? Hello? This is gonna take forever. No. What about muddy? Just make a muddy path. I don't know where we'd want that. Or does she want brick coming out of her house? This is interesting. Mechanism. So bizarre. No. Oh my god. This is insufferable. Why is this fucking doing that? It's driving me nuts. There we go. Goodness. That was so difficult. Where are these? I'm just actually doing something decoration-wise. It's cute. Hey, Lost Jolene, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. For being here. You bench. We're here.
MK_Momo just resubscribed for 2 months. Cherry69 rave.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Momo. I appreciate the subs. Yay. You're my first subbie in like 2 weeks. I haven't been trying to push it too much because I know money is tight for people, including myself. I literally haven't been able to subscribe to anybody lately. But if you are able to support the channel, I really, really appreciate it. It's a great way to help out. We're actually going to be doing a subathon one of these days here. So, keep that in mind too. Yay. Oh, hi, Momo. Okay, let's see. What else do we have to do for her? How many more? I'm gonna do one more seating. Another bench. Cool. Oh, I don't like that though. We can move this. I didn't know that. She. Yay! Oh my god, I love all the little emotes. They're so cute. Woo! Let's go for the summit. Okay, let's see. Where were we? Here. Oh, nope. Everybody is in town. In the middle of the night.
This place is no Paris. But I can
Okay,
work.
rude. I'm trying. In here? She's on a date with Eric. Okay, get it. Get it, Grandma.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna do her goofy run. See if she does her goofy run. Whoa! Get hyped. There's her goofy run. There she goes. There she goes. There she's running. Wait up, wait up, wait up, wait up, wait up.
It's hard to film over here.
Get out of here. Did you like what I did with the place? Where is she? Grandma! Grandma! Where'd you go, Grandma? Where is she? Oh, she's over there. Did you like what I did with you garden, Grandma? That one is so cute! I want the little Grogu one. You take you to the grave? Maybe. You're so welcome.
Mm-hmm.
We did it! Yay! All right. Ooh, well, I feel like that's a good time then. Should we transition into some Sims or something? Or we can even hang out. I'm okay either way. What do you guys think?
With ease.
Oh my god, I forgot that that's an ad playing for some reason. You might show him. Oh, I hope so. I hope so too. I haven't seen Mando yet, so unfortunately. Long story. Hey, hey! What can we do, y'all? You could also watch videos. That's also an option. Anything? I have marbles on stream. We could do that until we feel like we're in the mood for something. Actually, never mind. I need to download it. How about we dance? Any cut of the button? Oh, that's actually a good idea too. We could dance. Let's see. Here, fuck it. We'll play a copyrighted song. All right, we'll fucking do it. What's a dance song that we can get down to?
Jim Jones. I want everybody to stop what they doing. Mr. 305. Now, if you know yo is somebody that you gonna take to the hotel room tonight, make some noise.
Let's go, chat. Where's the cat? I need a cat to dance with. The song's with like a man. Come on, chat. We got
bella. Gotta get a ooh, make it bomb, makes my body dance for ya. Ooh, make it bomb, make it bella. Gotta get a ooh, make it bomb, makes my body dance for ya. Ooh, make it bomb, make it bella. Gotta get a ooh, make it bomb, makes my body dance for ya. Ooh, make it bomb, make it bella. Gotta get a ooh, make it bomb, makes my body dance for ya.
For you. That was a fun dance party, you guys. My heart is racing. My heart is absolutely racing. Those burps. That was so fun! You guys got to watch me dance like an actual idiot. Lots of clips. Oh, good. Oh, goody. Oh, wait, I actually don't know if that's copyright friendly. Let's see. Let's see, Animal Crossing music. How are you in chat? I danced so much into deletion. Were you guys actually dancing in real life? I hope you weren't. No, I hope you were. Actually, I do hope you were. So here's the thing. We have an opportunity here to like watch something that we wouldn't normally watch because of copyright, but because I'm already gonna split this half from the VOD, we could watch something. What do you guys like true crime? Do you guys want to watch like, oh, we could watch Defunct Land. That's what we're gonna do. Let's see. I don't know. These might actually be kind of long. They're like 2 hours long, some of them. Great channel. Do we want to do Defunct Land? There's a Wiggles Dark Ride video we could watch from a month ago, though. There's that guy. Watch Disneyland Conspiracies. Shane Dawson just made a Disneyland conspiracy video. Do we dare watch that? Commentary on Defunct Land? That would be fun. This is top 5 spooky Disneyland rumors. Danny, why don't you come up with a few good Defunct Lands that you think I'd like and send me them on Discord? And then while we do that, I'll watch this quick 6-minute video. I'm good? And then you can update the title and everything once you found something good. Great, let's see. Be perfect.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Disneyland Resort. My name is Dustin and we're happy to have you for another episode of the Theme Park Shark. If you're new here, we kindly ask that at the conclusion of this video, if you enjoyed our content, that you smash that subscribe button, turn on that bell to get notified on all of our future videos, drop a like, and leave a comment. If your comment comes in the first 15 minutes of upload, you will be eligible for all of our weekly giveaways. We also have a brand new Patreon where you can be an official supporter of the Theme Park Shark. You'll be involved in private discussions and you'll receive very cool promotional items through mail. In today's video, we have some of the creepiest, long-standing rumors that swirl around the Disneyland Resort. Many of these aren't confirmed, nor do we believe them to be 100% true, but it is still very strange that these myths exist at all. If you have your lights turned off, you better turn them on. So let's get ready to jump on in to today's episode. Number 5, Aunt Sally on the floor. At Disneyland Park in Anaheim, California, it's become so common for people to spread the ashes of their loved ones throughout the park that the park even has a special code word for cleaning up human ashes. When tasked, staff come in with a vacuum cleaner equipped with a high-efficiency filter, and they vacuum up the remains. Human ashes have been spread into bushes, lawns, outside the park gates, and
It's
even on the
probably
Pirates of the
so
Caribbean
haunted.
and in the Haunted Mansion.
It's probably
the mansion is
so
actually
haunted.
where workers claim this happens the most. If on your next trip to the park, you happen to see any strange-looking
Yeah, I've
powder
seen that
around,
one, but it's
it would
long.
probably be a good idea
I
not
love
to
that
touch
one,
Aunt
though.
Sally and call some form of security. Number 4, Walt's Room Forever.
I want like Disney
The next time you're on
conspiracy
Main
theory
Street,
though.
Make sure
That's
to take
the
a look
energy I
at
want.
the lamp above the Disneyland Fire Department. This served as
Yeah,
Walt's
wait, this is
live-in
all, like-
apartment during his
this
time
is all
around the park.
known
As
stuff.
legend has it, there was a custodial cast member cleaning the apartment shortly after Walt's death. She turned off the lamp as she left, and once outside, she noticed that the light was back on. She returned to the apartment to turn it off, thinking she simply forgot the first time, but once she went outside, it was back on. For the third time, she went back up to turn the lamp off,
hell
but this
no.
time, she didn't leave. She heard a clicking sound and watched the lamp turn on by itself. Of course, she ran out in horror, and to this day, the lamp has actually been left on as a sign that
I think we've had enough Disneyland. I love Disneyland, but we could just build another one just like it without the ghosts. I feel like Disney could do it. They got the budget.
Walt's spirit will forever remain in the park. Number 3, Walt's haunted head.
Oh,
Now,
good.
among
Oh, the
rumors
one
of
on
Walt
Haunted
freezing
Mansion.
himself and his head, which we won't dive into in this episode, there's a different kind of rumor which actually places Walt's head himself into the Haunted Mansion attraction. There is one such area where riders pass 5 busts performing the grim, grinning ghost song. It is noticed that one mustached fellow seems to catch your eyes more than the others. Is it Walt Disney? Unfortunately, it's been confirmed that this isn't, as this is actually a different Disney legend, Thurl Ravenscroft. He has performed on countless Disney projects, one of them as God and the host Fritz in the Enchanted Tiki Room. Thurl is known for his voice work that continues also on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, to obviously his work with the Haunted Mansion, and his most famous work, though in a different realm, might just actually be the voice of Tony the Tiger. He has a booming voice that you can notice any time of the day. Number 2, the sense of Disney. Main Street is known for its beautiful colors and positive emotions that it can evoke. Many people are reminded of magic, cookies, milkshakes, and fresh pastries. Ever wondered why? No, it's not because those types of foods line the street. It's actually mainly because you are smelling all of those things. And believe it or not, you aren't even smelling the real cookies or pastries that they are baking. What you are smelling, my friends, is the Smellitzer. This is a patented scent generator that makes sure you smell exactly what they want you to smell. Combining the Smellitzer with the eye candy that is Main Street, this is a powerful way to urge guests to look in the windows
those are the
and
scent
shops
things?
of Main Street. Pirates of
those
the
are
Caribbean is
speakers.
equipped with similar technology, and so is the Haunted Mansion
Probably
to create
so
a smell
rank
of
and nasty.
dust
There's probably a
and
bunch of
musk.
dead rats and
Scent
cockroaches
is
in
known to be
there.
an immediate factor when it comes to nostalgia and bringing back memories. It's also
They
a
just
very
don't
powerful
clean
way
Haunted
to
Mansion.
theme,
They just leave
and
all the
Disney knows all of
nasty
this all too
ashes
well.
in there.
Number 1, the one-way ticket to Space Mountain. One of the longest-standing urban legends surrounds the Space Mountain attraction. This attraction is located in the Tomorrowland area of the park, and the myth actually goes to a man who's known to be a
decapitated guy?
single rider, and he enjoys sitting next to riders when an
Oh,
open
the
seat is present.
ghost.
He has been described as having reddish hair and a red tint face. He's supposedly the ghost of a deceased guest who died on the ride back in the 70s.
What are we
Strangely
looking
enough,
at?
he seems to slowly disappear before the end of each ride. Just like myself, this is another individual who just can't seem to get enough of the Space Mountain attraction.
Who are we
So
looking
that'll
at?
wrap up everything that we have for you guys today. Please stay tuned to the
Is this just a
channel as we will
video
have
of-
a lot more for you on the way. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to hit that subscribe button right now.
That was lame. I knew all of those. I knew all those ones. I knew all of those. You guys heard about the freaking Titanic thing? That's crazy as hell. Titanic. Sub missing. This is fucking crazy, you guys. I didn't know this was a fucking thing, that if you had enough money, you could just go see the Titanic like 16,000 feet below the ocean, like miles deep. Let's see.
Search in the
This will be good.
Atlantic Ocean in the same area that the Titanic sunk 111 years ago. In that disaster, more than 1,500 people were killed. Today, the Coast Guard launched a rescue mission 13,000 feet below the surface for a submarine carrying 5 people. It went missing during an expedition to the Titanic.
A submarine carrying tourists to see the wreckage of the Titanic has gone missing. The Boston Coast Guard is currently conducting a search and rescue mission about 400 miles off the coast of Newfoundland.
We began immediately to mobilize assets to search both the surface of the water, search from the air, and then also launch equipment that would enable us to detect any vessels under the water.
Retired British Rear Admiral Chris Parry.
The only sort of hope I think one has is that the mothership will have a standby craft that can actually go down and investigate immediately and see what's going on.
The Titanic rests 13,000 feet deep below. That is roughly 2.5 miles underwater.
There's lots of debris around, so trying to differentiate with sonar in particular and trying to target
Probably
the area you
so
want to search
dark
in
and scary.
with another submersible is going to be very
Probably
difficult.
got eaten by a fucking
The submersible
dinosaur.
is owned by Ocean Gate Expeditions, a private company that recently began expeditions to view the...
I'm sorry, how the fuck do you lose a submarine? Like, I can track my fucking AirPod when it falls out of my purse. Why can't they find a fucking submarine? Why didn't they put like GPS on it?
historic Titanic wreckage. British billionaire Hamish Harding is reportedly on board. Yesterday, he said poor weather conditions had delayed the trip. A weather window has just opened up, and we are going to attempt a dive tomorrow. Harding is a well-known adventurer. Last year, he flew on Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin's rocket ship. The clock is ticking if there is any hope of finding the Titanic submersible.
This particular submersible is advertised to have 96 hours of survival time.
One possibility being talked about.
This is exactly why I say that like people should never ever go to the moon or like Mars for like vacation. Like if they're rich, like it's just, there's a reason we weren't built to do that all the time. Okay. Don't your like bone cells just explode?
Is that the sub got too close to the Titanic. It may have gotten snared in the wreckage. By the way, this was going to be the only manned trip to the wreck this year because the weather in Newfoundland has been the worst in 40 years.
What?
David Pogue is the host of the Unsung Science podcast and was on board an Ocean Gate sub last year that was also lost and joins us live. David, thank you for being here. Were you on that exact submarine? And if so, I'm wondering if you can describe it for us.
I was. There is only one. It's a homemade thing made by the founder.
Allie, there was this like, okay, so there was this Titanic tour submarine that cost like $250,000 per person to go on. So it's like a rich person crazy shit to do, which I didn't even know was a fucking thing that you could do. It sounds so dangerous. And they literally got lost. They don't know where they are. They've been missing for 24 hours. They don't know what happened to them. They don't know where they are.
The company, Stockton Rush.
This is right now.
It's about the size of a minivan. It seats 5 people. There's no chairs in there. You're just squatting on the floor. The journey is about 10 to 12 hours to go down to the Titanic, find it, tour it, and then come back up to the surface ship.
Why would anyone want to actually do that? That's so weird.
Problems. This is not unique to their sub. This is all of these Titanic subs. There's only about 5 of them in the world, and they've all
called a museum. Go to the museum.
Mechanical malfunctions, electrical malfunctions.
Or look at a picture or video.
You experienced one, right, of some kind?
I did. I never got to see the Titanic. I was invited as a journalist to go on one of these dives last year, and we got 37 feet down.
That makes sense.
And ran into mechanical problems and had to come up. But that's typical. They take these millionaires out there for 5 days at a time, so they have 5 chances to see the Titanic. Most weeks they make it only once, or this summer not at all.
What do you think?
They should be shut down now.
From having been in it.
Did we not learn our lesson the first time treading these waters?
Mechanical issues. What's your? I know it's purely a guess.
Yeah, that is dystopian as hell.
Exactly. There's only a few possibilities. So this thing has 7 different ways to return to the surface, different ways of releasing ballast or inflating air balloons or using the propellers. So there's backups of backups of backups. So if it is not at the surface, then only one of 2 things could have happened. Either it's snagged on something, like a big fishing net or even part of the Titanic, or there was a leak, in which case it would implode instantly and it's over. So if you want to look optimistically at it, they lost power, but they have 3 more days of air and they're bobbing on the surface somewhere, and we just can't find them because they don't have power.
Yeah, I found it interesting that the Coast Guard there basically said this is a 2-pronged search. 1, potentially 2.5 miles beneath the sea, or 2, maybe somewhere at the top, and this area is so remote, it's possible.
But
they have to go through so much extensive training just to maybe look at it. And it's like, why are we making, I think it's already weird that we make like spectacles of such horrible, tragic events. Like, people wouldn't fucking drown, or people wouldn't stand in a fiery, smoky room to reenact 9/11. Like, why are we trying to replicate? Like, they didn't want to end up on the bottom of the ocean. Why are you trying to get back down there? Like, leave it. Like the ocean has given us plenty of signs to stay out of it. Let's stay out of it. Let's just say we're not surprised.
One problem with what the Coast Guard said was there's only 3 operating subs in the world that can go to that depth.
They should have left that shit in there.
Even if they find our sub with the ping, with the sonar, there's absolutely nothing they can do about it. There's no way to bring it back to the surface. There's no way to let them escape. That the hatch, by the way, is sealed with 17 bolts from the outside. So there's no way to escape when you're inside to get out without a crew on the outside letting you out.
You know, David, you talk about these mechanical problems, and you experienced it firsthand. I guess it raises the question how they're allowed to operate. You know, this isn't a car driving down the highway. This is a sub going underwater. Are you surprised that this enterprise is allowed to go on, given what you know and what you've experienced?
It's really funny because, so I did this story for CBS Sunday Morning, and we're airing a follow-up this Sunday, and all the reactions were one of 2 things. You couldn't pay me $250,000 to get on that thing, or if I had $250,000, it would be a life-changing event. Very few people actually succeed, even with this company, in getting down there. Maybe 1 out of 5 dives actually reaches the Titanic, but the ones that do say their lives look different now. It's completely mind-blowing.
I'm sure, but like, you shouldn't be putting people in something that could
and the
potentially drown them.
Instincts love it.
All right, we'll leave it there. David Pogue, thank you for your time and your perspective.
You
we appreciate
can't
it,
open the fucking hatch.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.
We should just like scroll through TikTok. No.
Join me now.
That's so scary. That's so scary. Okay, I want to watch this video that Danny sent me.
What's going on, Disney fans? It's Disney. What's going on, Disney fans? It's Disney Dan here, but wait a minute, why am I on the
Disney
Defunctland
Dan?
YouTube?
Dan, let's skip the dumb intro skit and just get this thing going.
Sounds good. Another top 5 video?
Make it top 10. We're going for the big bucks. Speaking of big bucks, did you know that you could win money by playing trivia with the free Swag IQ app? Games are at 8
to get some on the ways where you been.
in Anaheim, California has operated for over 60 years. It might have the richest and most complex history of any theme park in the world. Along with this comes a variety of attractions, shops, and experiences that have gone by the wayside. Today we are going to be talking about 10 in particular. These are the top 10 extinct opening day Disneyland attractions.
Frontierland needed a mascot.
Remember
and a
Davy
big
Crockett
attraction to pull in
Land?
crowds and give them
Like all the
something
little
entertaining.
things that are still
and
there?
no one man better suited that legendary position than Davy Crockett himself. The dusty, barren corner of the park featured a large wooden fort that held a very popular Davy Crockett arcade, a shooting gallery full of fun gags and interesting lore. The neighboring Davy
Oh,
Crockett
not that
Museum
one. That's
featured
cool.
a few showcases, including an Alamo exhibit with 2 life-size wax figures of Fess Parker and Buddy Ebsen, a historical firearms display sponsored by the NRA, and a recreation of a Frontier mercantile that served as a themed gift shop. The building would also serve for the occasional Davy Crockett character meet and greet, where guests could get photos and interact with the legendary hero. The museum portion of the attraction wasn't too popular and quickly closed, with the wax figures.
Yeah, why
moving
would
out
you
to
go
Tom
if it was only
Sawyer's
went out
Island.
5 times?
As
That's what I was saying.
Frontierland
It's
continued to grow and
$250,000 and you have to
technology improved, a new
train.
shooting gallery, the Frontierland Shooting Exposition, opened in the 80s, leading to the original arcade to eventually close.
Sound
and
of the
reopen
Music.
as another
Sound of
gift
Music
shop
is one
experience.
I know for
The
sure
original
because they
Davy
showed
Crockett
slaves, so
arcade
it's
helped pave the
abandoned.
way
Oh
for
my
many
god, what?
Disney parks to feature some sort of fancy shooting gallery. And while not much remains of the original Davy Crockett experience, the foundation and spirit of Frontierland that he created still lives on today.
In the 1950s, television was dominated by shows depicting the Wild West, namely, conflicts between cowboys and Native
Gunsmoke.
Americans. This staple of pop culture found its way into Frontierland on opening day in the form of the Indian Village. Located right next to Aunt Jemima's Pancake House, the small village exhibit
Oh,
featured a
God.
ceremonial dance circle and a full-blooded native chief. In a surprisingly progressive performance system, Disney would contract various tribes for 6-month stints at the park to demonstrate their culture to the guests, before rotating them out for a new tribe to share their unique traditions. However, this Indian village wouldn't last too long, as it would be quickly moved to the rivers of America in 1956, where it would
And
be
now they're
greatly expanded in
animatronics.
comparison to the opening day version.
What's that baby doing?
The Disneyland that you know today is not the Disneyland that the public knew in 1955. While every corner of the park is
Oh,
now
shit,
packed
look
with
at
an
them
attraction
go.
and no space is necessarily wasted, 60 years ago the layout of the land was sparse and empty. Over in Frontierland, families
That's so
could fish,
cool,
picnic,
though.
and just relax in the wide open prairie pastures.
They could
a stark
fish?
contrast to the fast-paced thrill ride
I wanna
that
go
now sits in its place.
fish.
And for Frontierland's signature attraction, was it an animatronic musical review? Was it a runaway mine train? No, it was mules. Just mules. Groups of 10
want a
would hop on
mule.
their own mule and be led through the tall rock formations and desert-like conditions of Frontierland.
it's,
This live animal attraction, called the Mule Pack, lasted
Song
in
of
the
the
park
South
for
you're
nearly
thinking
20
of.
years,
That's a movie.
occasionally getting a facelift as the Frontierland area expanded. When the park built
That's
the mining
on,
village of Rainbow Ridge, the mule ride changed
Splash
its name
Mountain,
to
which
the
is still
Rainbow
technically
Ridge
there.
Pack Mules. And then again, after Nature's Wonderland mine train opened, the attraction was renamed Pack Mules through Nature's Wonderland. Some incredibly original and creative naming by the parks team. By the end, you would pass through a small village, sections of rock formations filled with animatronic animals, and slowly trace the trails of an old mine train. With close to 75 working mules in the parks at any given time, the maintenance of live animals was burdensome and unpredictable. The mules would often refuse to move, which didn't make for much of a ride, and if the cast member forced them to move, the situation got even worse. Also, mules would often decide to follow their own heart rather than the pre-approved path. When Disneyland announced their new e-ticket roller coaster Big Thunder Mountain in the 70s, most of Frontierland, including the Pack Mules, were packed up and shipped off into the desert. The Pack Mule attraction was one of a kind for Disneyland, with no other park featuring anything remotely similar.
Disney's signature Circle Vision 360 films have been featured in multiple Disney parks throughout the world, and the first film debuted in Disneyland's Tomorrowland on opening day. Presented as Circarama USA, the first film to debut
Well, that
was named
looks
A Tour of
sick.
the West. Sponsored by American Motors, the 12-minute film utilized groundbreaking technology designed by Disney
Splash
legends.
Mountain, they closed it now.
From a conversation between UB iWorks and Walt Disney.
Not abandoned.
They're
making it Tiana's.
Ho the Wagons was facing.
They're making it for Princess and the Frog.
Introduced CinemaScope process. This is when Disney asked iWorks if there was a way to make a film that extended the screen even more, perhaps 360 degrees around the entire audience. What iWorks and his team were able to produce was more impressive than any previous attempts at cinematic immersion. The resulting exhibit in Tomorrowland, as with other earlier Disneyland attractions,
I'm gonna grab a snack, y'all. Keep watching.
Included American Motors Circarama exhibit, American Motors exhibit, American Motors Presents Circarama, and just Circarama. In the sign directly outside the show building, the Circarama logo was presented in black letters, except the letters CAR, which were colored red, just in case you didn't realize that the exhibit was sponsored by American Motors. To further drive home the sponsorship...
I see what you did there.
Dan, it's my turn?
Yeah, sorry.
To further emphasize the sponsorship, American Motors placed 5 cars on the floor of the theater. The appliance company Kelvinator, which had recently been absorbed into the American Motors Corporation, also had a variety of kitchen and home appliances placed around the show building. The film itself was shot using 11 cameras placed in a circle on a specially made rig. How did that rig get around? Well, it was placed on top of none other than the American Motors Rambler, both a sports fastback and roomy enough for the family too. And you thought our sponsorship was shameless. By the way, big thanks to Swag IQ for sponsoring this video. The Tour of the West film comprised of exterior shots of landmarks such as Monument Valley, the Grand Canyon, Las Vegas, and the streets of Los Angeles. The film was projected above the audience by 11 projectors with small black strips in between each screen. This was done in order to avoid the blind spots created by the camera rig. Tour of the West lasted until 1960, where it was replaced by a new Circle Vision film, America the Beautiful.
Do you enjoy snacking at the Tomorrowland Pizza Port? Or is it now Pizza Planet? Regardless, of course you don't, because the pizza there is awful. It's practically made out of cardboard, and tastes like it's been rehydrated from some weird NASA-approved astronaut freeze-dried packet. Long before the Pizza Port was dishing out gross quick-serve pizza, the space was occupied by the opening day attraction Rocket to the Moon, a centerpiece of the Disneyland Spaceport in Tomorrowland. The Rocket to the Moon attraction took guests on a simulated space trip to the moon and back using nothing more than 2 large screens and circular stadium ride seating. Outside the attraction, a massive 80-foot tall rocket ship greeted you, the tallest structure in the park at the time, 3 feet taller than the castle. It was placed outside the attraction to give guests a reference for the ship that they were about to board.
I'd like to give you some idea about the rocket ship itself and explain some of the more interesting highlights of our operation here. So when the flight gets underway, you'll be able to see by watching the upper screen what's ahead of you, and by watching the lower screen you can see what you've left behind.
Upon entering the futuristic-looking space station, you were directed to one of 2 rockets, Luna or Diane, changed a few years later to Arcturus and Polaris. In this short queue area, there were special weighing stations that actually told guests what their weight would be once they landed on the moon. After being directed to their rocket, guests would enter and sit into a large round room. The room featured a screen above their heads to show where the rocket was going, and a central screen on the floor to show a bird's eye view of where the rocket was taking off from. The floor would begin to rumble as the rocket took off thanks to large speakers hidden under the floor. Then guests could peer down at the central screen, showing an ever-increasingly distant Anaheim below the ship, as the screen up above them showed the moon growing closer and closer. Eventually, the guests would reach the moon, slowly passing around its orbit while learning facts from the movie's voiceover before flying back down to the surface and landing like one of Elon Musk's new fancy rocket pods. This was seriously ahead of its time. Over the many years and many facelifts of Tomorrowland, the ride would get rethemed, eventually ending on Mission to Mars, until of course the major renovation to Tomorrowland in 1998, when the ride was gutted and the show building was transformed into a pizza joint. A new rocket, about 30% smaller, was built outside to promote Coca-Cola products, and the only remnant of the ride today is the high-peaked front facade painted over after the Douglas Aircraft Company dropped their sponsorship.
Dang.
One of the most recognizable features of Disneyland's Tomorrowland is the lagoon that currently hosts Finding Nemo's submarine voyage. But this was of course not present on opening day. It would not be until 1959 that the original submarine voyage would open in Tomorrowland. So what was in that spot when the park opened? A lagoon. A much less impressive lagoon.
Well, we ought to go down to the boat landing. Ronnie Reagan, are you there? Take it away.
Thank you very much, Art. And here on the Lake of Tomorrowland, we have boats made out of fiberglass, and they're as strong and safe as anything afloat.
An attraction named
I swear to God, those were my grandparents. That was straight up them, spot on.
You heard that right. Guests were given the wheel. Surprisingly, this turned out to be a bad idea. The small motors of the boat would overheat when guests attempted to speed up, and a towboat had to come around and pick up the stranded vessels. On top of this, the smoke released by the motors was dense and problematic. Disneyland's management came up with the brilliant solution to
everything Disney does problematic.
In another shocking twist, while this did reduce smoke, it only made the overheating problem worse. Another attempted solution was to add a cast member to each boat, which drastically increased the operating cost of the attraction. The attraction was eventually renamed to the Phantom Boats, but the issues proved to be too much for the small lagoon, and it would close in August of 1956. It was the first attraction to close, and it is still the shortest-lived Disneyland attraction.
Damn.
It's almost hard to remember that before Omni-movers and massive rotating theaters, attractions were sometimes nothing more than a large moving floor that passed by windows displaying gorgeously detailed paintings. This was the case for Space Station X-1, a futuristic experience that took guests high into orbit to a remote space station that overlooked vast, distant, picturesque views of the Earth below. Upon boarding the large circular yellow space station, you would begin your journey on the east coast as a sunrise crested over the horizon, and by the end of your journey, you would witness a lovely sunset on the west coast. The show building was a large circular room with a massive painted portrait of the Earth.
Oh, you guys, hold on. So I know we're in the middle of watching this video, but what if we did this? This one is the Disney Parks Iceberg Explained, which has a lot more spooky stuff in it, I feel like. Watch this one. Oh, speaking of the Titanic, too soon? Oh, I love this guy, Offhand Disney.
Hey, everybody. Have you ever heard of the term tip of the iceberg? Well, I hadn't before I made my way out here to the iceberg to see what it all meant. And, well, a lot of doors have been opened to me. You're probably wondering why I'm here at this iceberg and why we're so far north and what it has to do with Disneyland. I sure wish I was in Orlando right now. Today we are talking about the Disneyland iceberg. Not actually this iceberg behind me. This is just a normal iceberg, which begs the question, why did I come out here in the first place? The Disneyland iceberg is more of a virtual iceberg. This is a real one. It cost me a lot of money to get out here, and I think I'm beginning to suffer frostbite. Oh yeah, that's necrotic. Alright, we're gonna need to go to the voiceover before this starts to spread through the rest of my body. Let's talk about the Disneyland iceberg.
Now, an iceberg isn't just a piece of freshwater ice more than 15 meters long that has broken off a glacier or an ice shelf and is floating freely in the open salt water, thanks Wikipedia. It's also a way you can measure one's knowledge or expertise on a subject, in this case, Disneyland. Like I mentioned when I was freezing to death earlier, the tip of the iceberg is a saying that represents, oh, this is just basic knowledge that most everyone knows about a certain subject, but you can go deeper down the rabbit hole, and if there's anything I know you guys like, and I know I like, it's going deep down Disneyland rabbit holes, not that one. You know, I'm gonna keep the voice crack in there because this video is going to get insane, believe me. Here's a picture of the iceberg chart we are going to be looking at today. Here at the top, you can see some general well-known trivia facts about Disneyland, but the farther down we go, the scarier, more mysterious, and more niche the topics become. For this video, we will be consulting the highest rated iceberg chart I can find, which is uploaded to the iceberg charts subreddit by Figment Fan 1982. I am also a Figment fan, so, you know, birds of a feather. And I am going to guide you all through each and every single one of these topics. Some may be a little bit more obscure, but I'm gonna try my best to relay them to all of you, my friends. We'll start off with, yes, the tip of the iceberg. Here at the top layer, with Happy New Mickey, we have Disneyland cats. Now, back around the construction of Disneyland, Anaheim had a lot of feral cats, and some found their way into the park. Now, back before California Adventure existed, they made their home inside of Sleeping Beauty Castle, actually, and you could still find them wandering around the park today. Disney keeps them around as sort of a natural form of pest control. They help kill all the, non-speaking mice. but you can also find them over at California Adventure, mainly over in the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail area, sort of grizzly airfield kind of place. The cat you're most likely to encounter over here is actually named Francisco, and I've seen him before, and he's lovely. Now, if you happen to cross paths with one of these feral cats, I personally wouldn't try to pet one. I mean, they're not going to attack you or anything. They're pretty chill most of the time. I'd say just keep your distance, admire from afar, and let them do their jobs. They're employees, they're cast members, they help make the magic.
Danny, let's go
Ashes
try to
in the
find
Haunted
her.
Mansion. Now,
And
if
we
you're
do,
a
let's
true
get a picture
offhand
of
Disney
her.
and Disney Dan superfan, you watch the Foolish Mortals podcast and you know everything about Ashes in the Haunted Mansion. But to make a long story short, because the Haunted Mansion is a ride having to
Walt
do with
Disney
death
hated
and it's a very
Jews, too. He
popular
was the
Disney
friggin'
ride,
worst.
Disney fans in their life sometimes want their ashes to be scattered in the Haunted Mansion. There's been cases of this happening in the past, but for the most part, at the end of the day, the third shift workers, the people who clean up the mansion, come in and end up vacuuming it all up and throwing it away. So if you want to spend forever in the mansion, just go on it as much as you can. Don't burn yourself up and then
Didn't
toss
pay
yourself
me
in the
enough to do that
ballroom.
job.
Believe me, I've tried. It's sort of become an urban legend over the years that people often scatter the remains of their dead relatives in the mansion.
Danny, we should
Hopefully
make a
it doesn't
list and
happen
see
too
how
often,
many of these
and
we
hopefully
can
that dust
debunk
you
while we're
see
there.
on top of the photos and shelves of the mansion is just that, dust. Because I don't want to be breathing in Grandpa, even if he was the biggest Haunted Mansion fan ever, which is impossible because that's me, Walt's frozen head. Now, aside from being a very entertaining Twitter account, there is an urban legend, these are lots of urban legends here, that Walt Disney was cryogenically frozen and his body was placed under the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction in New Orleans Square. Cryogenics being essentially freezing the human body at the point of near death or death in hopes that they'd be able to be revived one day. And in some versions of this urban legend, it is not Walt's entire body that's frozen under Pirates of the Caribbean, but instead just his head. So I guess when they bring him back, he'll be some sort of super cool android walking around the park, sort of like Paul Rudd in that episode of What If. Although this legend long ago was debunked, because, I mean, there's not much underneath Pirates of the Caribbean besides some water pumps and maybe 1 or 2 storage areas and tracks. But hey, no, I get it. It's not as cool as your founder's frozen body part being locked
Secret
away for
Disney
future
Club inside the
generations
park
to
you can't
revive
get into
underneath
unless
one
you're
of your
super
most famous
wealthy.
attractions.
Yeah, Club
But if
33.
you do have an interest in human heads and Pirates of the Caribbean, don't you worry. We're going to be getting to that a little lower down.
You guys want to hear the worst decision Sabrina ever made? I turned down a job at Club 33 when I got hired at Disney to work at Starbucks because I wanted to be able to be in the front of the park, and I had just come back from working at Chili's for several years, and I really didn't want to work in a restaurant. Who knows where I would be?
Down to the iceberg. Forced perspective. Now, I'm sure a lot of you watching this channel know what forced perspective is, but for those of you who don't, the features on Sleeping Beauty Castle and Main Street USA get smaller as they get higher, giving the illusion of height. This isn't always done vertically, even though that's the most famous example. Sometimes it's done horizontally, where the buildings get shorter the further you go down Main Street to make it look longer than it really is. And when it comes to the Disney parks, there are so many examples of forced perspective that I probably can't cover them in this video, although I should make a video on the best uses of forced perspective in the parks. In Pandora and Galaxy's Edge, the plants get higher the further you go up the rockwork, same with the Matterhorn. The Beast's Castle at Be Our Guest in the Magic Kingdom tries and fails miserably to look very far away, but very large. It just looks like a small castle. A cool example of smaller forced perspectives is the Alps in the background of the Pinocchio Village scene in Storybook Land Canal
that
boats
kinda
actually
spooky?
blend in with the Matterhorn, so the Matterhorn sort of becomes part of the mountain range. That's just a Disneyland insider tip for those of you watching this video. George. Now, this is a very famous ghost story from
Let me
Walt
see really
Disney
quick.
World's Pirates of the
I'll keep it
Caribbean. The
playing.
legend has it that during the construction of the attraction, a construction worker named George was working on the tower just to the left of the Spanish fort as soon as you come out of the caves, and while he was working on it, he tragically fell to his death. Some say his spirit still haunts the attraction to this very day, and if you don't say good morning and good night, George, as you open and close the ride respectively, the ride will break down and mysterious things will begin to happen. Now me, personally, I'm a non-believer in George because there is no record of anyone ever dying during the construction of Pirates of the Caribbean. Because remember, the park was open at that time. Pirates was not an opening day ride at the Magic Kingdom. But I've met people who swear up and down that George is real and have even caught photos of him. Honestly though, I'm just gonna leave this one up to you all. Do you have any George ghosts?
Okay, so he has a video called Dark Side of Disney. It's more like concise. I want to see if this is gonna be better.
To this happy place, welcome.
Disneyland is commonly known as the happiest place on Earth, full of wonderful characters and childlike whimsy. But Disney does have its fair share of dark humor or dark elements in its attractions and in its lands. Today we are going to be talking about a few of these darker elements that the children might not notice or might not want to notice. This is the dark side of Disneyland. Been lots of doom and gloom on this channel recently, Dallin. Are you alright? And without further ado, let's begin. Now we're talking about weird, spooky, unexpected turns these Disney attractions might take, and I would be remiss if I didn't speak about Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. And I think you are all very well aware of the scene that I'm talking about. That's right, the scene where you're going through Toad Hall and just messing up a bunch of stuff and breaking a bunch of plates. That scene is horrifying. Now, obviously, guys, I'm joking. I'm of course talking about the scene where you get hit by a train.
You literally
and then
go to
sent
hell?
There's the devil, who looks remarkably similar to the judge who sentenced you earlier, and a bunch of little rubber red devils jumping around everywhere. And not to mention the fact that they bump up the heat in that scene, which makes the whole thing way more immersive and way more unnerving, because this is a children's
really
ride.
weird.
Very interesting that they send you to hell. Now, is this scene creepy? No, not at all. But it is dark because you die and go to hell. And this isn't the creepy side of Disneyland rides, this is the dark side of Disneyland rides. It's not necessarily scary, but it's something that might go over the kids' heads and make the adults ask, what? Why? This is a kid's ride. What? Now, moving on to an attraction that more people would think is along the creepy side. It's a Small World. Now, many people are unnerved by the dolls as you go through this attraction, but I'm not going to talk about any certain animatronic. I'm going to be talking about a stagnant doll, a figure in the finale scene of It's a Small World. I'm going to talk to you today about the infamous Help Clown. During the finale scene, if you were to look up and to the left, you would see a hot air balloon, and sitting inside this hot air balloon would be a small clown. Now, this clown was unlike a lot of the animatronics or dolls in It's a Small World because this clown had a frowny face. Not only was he frowning, but he was also holding a small sign with red lettering on it that said simply, help. Now, no one knows exactly why this clown was put there in the first place, but we can only assume that this clown does not like all the happiness and glee and joy going on around him, and he just wants help.
That is
Unfortunately, the clown was
creepy.
removed in a renovation, so don't go there today looking to find him because you won't. All I can say is that I personally hope one day that they add him back in. Just imagining riding It's a Small World, looking up and seeing a clown frowning with a sign that says help. I mean, not only is that a little bit dark, a little bit morbid, but it's super funny. Maybe someday the Small World Help Clown will return. Now, this whole time we've been talking about things that scare you in your mind. Well, what about things that scare you physically?
But I need to make a sign like this.
What about
that
things
says
that
help?
threaten you physically? That's a little
Just
bit better.
help.
Now, this is a brand new addition to the Disneyland Railroad, something we have not seen until it has recently reopened a couple, weeks ago. Along the front end of Star Wars Land, where you're going over the bridge, underneath said bridge is a small beaver chewing away at the support beams for the tracks. Now, judging by this picture, he's already made his way through one of the support beams and he's working on the next one. So, over the years, just be careful while you're riding the railroad because you never know what's going to happen or when something could come crashing down.
Oh boy.
All I'm saying is that if there's another train accident at Disneyland, you know who to blame. Not that one conductor who ran off that one time, but this little beaver. Now, Critter Country is a very child-friendly land, unless you are afraid of animatronics, then in which case I would recommend you stay far, far away from it. Splash Mountain recently got a brand new character introduced into the attraction called Brer Hat. He was introduced a few weeks ago and he has not moved since. Seriously. Now, a lot of people love Splash Mountain, but not a whole lot of people give enough love to its attraction right across the pathway, The Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, especially those who miss the attraction that used to be there, the Country Bear Jamboree. Well, fret not those of you who enjoyed the Country Bear Jamboree, because as you're leaving the Heffalumps and Woozle scene, make sure to look behind you. That's right, you can see the decapitated heads of Max the Buck, Buff the Buffalo, and Melvin the Moose. Yeah, not quite the tribute you were expecting, but it's something. Now, these aren't actually decapitated animatronic heads, but they are static or non-animatronic heads taken from the mile-long bar that once resided across from the Playhouse. Now, I could talk about some lesser-known dark elements of the Haunted Mansion, but, you guys have probably heard it 1,000 times.
And I'm always gonna look now, and that ruined my favorite ride forever for me.
For later. The final dark element to this video brings me back to Main Street, USA. Right when you enter
Oh my
the park,
God,
turn
this
to
thing
your
is fucking
right. There
weird.
you'll find the Disneyland story featuring
It's like the
great
most
moments
advanced
with Mr.
ass
Lincoln.
animatronic.
Now, this
It's fucking
personally
creepy.
is one of my favorite attractions in Disneyland, and it is a shame
I
not a
love
whole lot
it,
of
but it's
people know it's
creepy.
there or just walk right past it. Now, of course, the Civil War
Look at
was a
that
dark
shit.
time in human history, but we are not focusing
No,
on the
thank
war
you.
today. Today, we are going to
No,
focus
thank
on the
you.
man himself, Abraham Lincoln. More
No, thank you.
specifically
No,
on
thank
the
you.
animatronic
No,
Abraham
thank you.
Lincoln. Now, the animatronic that is there today is not the same animatronic that was used at the World's Fair all those years ago, but it is an updated version of the animatronic. Instead of a hydraulic
I don't think I knew
animatronic,
what
this
you were
one
talking
is
about.
actually electric. And while this
No.
changed most of the internal workings on the animatronic, most of the outside stayed pretty much the same, including his face. Some of you probably know where I'm going with this. The audio animatronic Abraham Lincoln's face was molded from a real-life death mask of Abraham Lincoln himself. Now, some of you may
What
not
the
know what a
fuck?
death mask is. Basically, when someone dies, their face is molded with either plastic or wax. This was done not only to preserve this person's legacy and build statues and everything out of them, but also to give people in the future an
Oh
idea
my
what this person
God.
looked like when they died. So you know what that means? Means whenever you're looking up at this audio animatronic giving his wonderful speech, you are looking at the dead face of our president, Abraham Lincoln. Or at least my president. I don't know where you guys are watching from. Now, it is late, but I have a list of all the patrons here, and I'm going to read each and
Why'd
every
they
one
have
of
to
your
do it
names
when they
out
were
loud.
dead?
So, you were all entered into the contest. Thank you so much for donating, and I will actually announce the winner of the contest on Patreon as soon as this video is live, so be watching for that.
Oh my God. Okay, wait. Is the other one still here? Let's see, we'll watch the Disney Parks Iceberg still. Come on.
Stories, I would love to hear them. Leave them down in the comments. And before we move on, good night, George. The utilidors are underneath the Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World. It's okay, Figment Fan 1982. I've done more embarrassing typos in my videos before. Don't fret. The urban legend of there being a hidden city underneath Walt Disney World is sort of true. There are tunnels underneath the Magic Kingdom for cast members to get from point A to point B without spoiling the magic. The famous example being Walt Disney saw a Frontierland cowboy walking through Tomorrowland. Or is it a Tomorrowland astronaut walking through Frontierland? It varies. So during the construction of
That's
Disneyland,
actually a
instead
good
of having
point.
a backstage, they sort of have an understage. Except because of the water level in Orlando, the utilidors are actually on ground level and the Magic Kingdom is on the second floor, so to say. They used to offer tours of the utilidors, not really anymore, obviously, but they are real.
There was an
and
Abraham
cast
Lincoln
members do
impersonator
use
that came to our
them.
school
Epcot
once
kind
and
of
we got a picture with
has
them.
little
Oh.
ones, and so does Tomorrowland at Disneyland. Not really on the same scale as the Magic Kingdom, but it has some tunnels. Mostly used for maintenance and storage, though. You know, like Walt's Head. River Country, the abandoned water park that used to sit by Fort Wilderness. It was attached partly to Bay Lake, so you would be swimming in the lake water, and the brain-eating amoeba, as we all know, kind of wreaked some havoc around there, so they had to shut it down. You know that, and the tourism decline after September 11th. The weird thing, though, is that Disney just left it
brain-eating
abandoned there
amoeba?
for the better part of 2 decades before finally ripping it up and using the site to build Reflections, a lakeside lodge. Or that's what they were going to do before COVID hit and plans were seemingly scrapped. Although they ended up starting construction on Reflections before COVID, so there is some work being done over there. Nobody really knows what's going to end up happening, though. Either way, when you think of abandoned things at Disney, River Country is usually the first thing that comes to people's minds. You know, that and the Muppet Vision Theater. But that doesn't count. I love the Muppets, so they're safe. Cinderella Castle Suite. This one is kind of self-explanatory. There is a hotel suite inside of Cinderella Castle, originally made for executives and famous people visiting Walt Disney World, nowadays mostly just reserved for the famous people. During the Year of a Million Dreams celebration, though, random guests would be selected to spend a night in the castle, just as a little treat for them. And yeah, that's a bit of a treat. The suite is amazing. It's probably been updated since this footage, but yeah, it's my dream to spend a night in Cinderella Castle. Someone make some calls. Someone make it happen. Call Yellow Shoes. 30 steps from a garbage can. Now, this is another popular tale about Walt Disney attending a carnival, or even just Disneyland in general, depends on the storyteller, and watching to see how long it took for a guest to discard their trash onto the ground. He didn't measure it in time, though. He measured it in steps, and the average amount of steps a guest would take before discarding their trash onto the ground was 30. And so that's why at Disneyland today, if you look around, you will see a trash can roughly every 30 feet. It's all to help keep the park as clean as we possibly can. We have to all do our part. If you see an empty water bottle on a trellis in the Haunted Mansion queue, pick it up, throw it away. Walt would be very proud. Walt's candle. Now it says candle, but I'm assuming this one is referring to
urban legends.
Welcome to TPM Vids Dinner. It's cast members.
Yeah, that's dumb. I want the... Oh god.
Oh, the stuff Walt Disney doesn't want you to know about. I was watching this very well done video called The 7 Most Gruesome Deaths at Disney.
Okay, this looks good.
Land and thought about, I wonder what bad history is behind Walt Disney World. This is the unofficial sequel to The Gruesome Deaths at Disneyland, but this time with Disney World.
What was Disney World? That one at the Disneyland.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Alright, this one is going to be a little bit morbid. So if you're afraid of death, or dying, or gross stuff, probably don't watch this one. But here we go anyway. Now, we all know Disneyland is known as the happiest place on Earth. But for some people, it can also be known as the last place on Earth that they'll ever vacation to. This is a video about Disneyland deaths. And like I said, if you don't want to know, or you're just adverse to things like that, probably go check out one of my other videos, like the top 5 misconceptions about Disney. And I am most likely going to try to stay away from making jokes about people's deaths because nobody likes dying. Death isn't that funny, especially if it's the death of a loved one. So without further ado, here are 5 deaths that took place at Disneyland. 5 seems to be a little bit of a trend here. Number 1. June 7th, 1980. Gerardo Gonzalez was a recent graduate of a high school in San Diego. And being a high school graduate in California means you get to go to Disneyland for grad night. In the early morning hours of the grad night celebration, Gerardo was climbing from car to car in the People Mover attraction in Tomorrowland, the one that's sadly closed today. This horseplay, though, would soon prove to be deadly. As Gonzalez was climbing from car to car, he accidentally fell onto the People Mover track. This took place when the People Mover entered the super speed tunnel part of the attraction, near the former America Sings building. After falling to the track, Gonzalez was struck by an oncoming train of cars. The weight of the cars crushed Gerardo and dragged his body a few hundred feet before the ride was finally stopped by an attendant. Gonzalez was alone when he was riding the People Mover, so nobody noticed or could hear Gonzalez as he was being brutally dragged to his death. No lawsuits were filed against the Disneyland park because Gonzalez's death had been because of his own negligence. This incident is eerily similar to the death of Ricky Yama, who died on the People Mover in a very similar way after the ride had only been open for 1 month. Number 2. On May 15th, 1964, Mark Maples from Long Beach, California boarded the Matterhorn bobsleds for what would be his last time. Another act of negligence, Mark was killed when he tried to stand up when the bobsled reached the top of the lift hill. He lost his balance and fell to the track below where he was struck by an oncoming train of bobsleds. There seems to be a pattern. Remember that when Disney tells you to keep your seatbelt fastened, that means keep your seatbelt fastened and don't stand up in the ride, because you may not enjoy what comes next if you do not. Again, there was no suit filed because this death was due to Mark's own negligence. Another similar death occurred on January 3rd, 1984. The woman was thrown from her bobsled into the path of an oncoming bobsled. The place where she died is reportedly called Dolly's Drop by the cast members. Her death was again caused by a seatbelt being unbuckled. It is unknown, though, whether the seatbelt malfunctioned or she did it willingly. Number 3. Bogdan Delarose was an 18-year-old Brooklyn resident who drowned trying to swim across the rivers of America. Bogdan and his 10-year-old brother had managed to stay on Tom Sawyer Island past park closing. The boys then decided to enter the greater park after closing. Bogdan decided to carry his younger brother on his back as they swam across the rivers of America to New Orleans Square, or Frontierland. Not quite sure exactly where this took place. About halfway across the rivers of America, Bogdan lost all of his strength and went under the water. The younger brother managed to doggy paddle and get help from a cast member, but Bogdan's body was not recovered until the following morning. Number 4. On September 5th, 2003, a 22-year-old man was killed while riding the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad in Frontierland. The train that he was riding through the mountain had become derailed. The incident also injured 10 other guests. Investigation reports and discovery by the victim's attorney confirmed that the injuries occurred when the first passenger car collided with the underside of the locomotive. The derailment was a result of mechanical failure which occurred due to emissions during a maintenance procedure. Never cut corners, ladies and gentlemen. It turns out that the fasteners on the left side of the locomotive were not tightened or safe-tied in accordance with specifications. As the train entered a tunnel, the axle came loose and jammed against a brake section, causing the locomotive, that's the front of the train, to become airborne and hit the ceiling of the tunnel. The locomotive then fell on top of the first passenger car, crushing the victim. This death is horrible because it was not caused by guests' ineptitude, but instead by a faulty ride vehicle. And finally,
fuck is this
number
ride,
5.
like,
For this
still
final death, I will be
allowed
quoting
to
from
exist?
Snopes' article on the Disneyland death. So make sure to go check that out if you're interested in more Disneyland myths or, you know, deaths, if you're into that. On the evening of July 8th, 1974, an 18-year-old woman from Santa Ana named Deborah Gale Stone was working the attraction as a hostess. Now, essentially the job of a hostess is to greet every new audience as they settled into the seating area. Standing to the left side of the stage, she welcomed the guests over a microphone before the outer ring rotated and carried the audience to the first scene of the carousel. At about 11 p.m. that evening, Stone approached too closely to the area between the rotating theater wall and the non-moving stage wall.
The one you
Unfortunately,
talked
she
about?
arrived at the
Yeah.
exact same time that the audience began to rotate. She was caught in between the two walls and was crushed to death between them. The ride operators were only notified after a guest heard her rotate in the rotating carousel. Outside of the Gale Stone was no deaths, if you're into that. On the evening of July 8th, 1974, an 18-year-old woman from Santa Ana named Deborah Gale Stone was working the attraction as a hostess. Now, essentially the job of a hostess is to greet every new audience as they settled into the seating area. Standing to the left side of the stage, she welcomed the guests over a microphone before the outer ring rotated and carried the audience to the first scene of the carousel. At about 11 p.m. that evening, Stone approached too closely to the area between the rotating theater wall and the non-moving stage wall. Unfortunately, she arrived at the exact same time that the audience began to rotate. She was caught in between the two walls and was crushed to death between them. The ride operators were only notified after a guest heard her screams from an adjacent theater. Eventually, the solid walls were replaced with breakaway ones to prevent similar incidents from occurring in the future. Hey guys, thank you for watching. That is 5 deaths that took place at Disneyland. Now I know it's the happiest place on earth, but it feels weird walking around there knowing that people have died there. Anyway, with new modern safety regulations, the park is a little bit more safe, so I wouldn't have to worry about that as long as you keep your seatbelt buckled. Make sure to let me down in the comments below, what do you think is the most dangerous Disneyland attraction? Very excited to see your guys' feedback on this one. Anyways, guys, thank you as always for watching. Make sure to follow me on Twitter for more up-to-date updates on my videos and my...
That was creepy. Alright.
If you wait and watch, maybe sometimes you'll see a
something more
famous person
light.
or just a rich person walk out. You can ask them how their meal was, because odds are it was amazing, because the food there is fantastic. Have I mentioned I've been to Club 33? I mean, it's whatever. No, I mean, no one's counting, but I've, yeah, I've been. Nothing weird, scary, or obscene happens up there like some urban legends say. It's just a restaurant and lounge. But it's a very exclusive restaurant and lounge, which means that there has to be some conspiracy theories popping up about it. And last but not least, for the top layer, we have Andy's Coming, which was back in the olden days before people had to ruin things. A thing you could shout at the Toy Story characters to make them flop onto the floor and pretend to be toys. Since this began picking up traction though, if you were to run up to a Toy Story character and yell Andy's Coming today, they may look around shocked, but they won't flop to the floor. because people ruined it, because it became too mainstream. But it was a fun little thing that happened sometimes. I mean, I'm not saying before a certain period of time, if you ran up to a Toy Story character and yelled this, they would always flop it, just depended on how they were feeling when you caught them. But I mean, according to this picture, yeah, it was a thing. Not anymore though. Moving on down to the slightly creepier Mickey Mouse of my childhood, we have the Main Street windows. The windows on Main Street as you enter both Disneyland and Walt Disney World and every Disneyland style park across the world all bear the names of people who helped build and create those parks, sometimes manage them. You'll find a window for Rolly Crump or Bob Gurr, people who helped with these parks, and also newer windows like those belonging to Tony Baxter or the newest one belonging to George Kalogridis. They serve as sort of, depending on which way you're walking down Main Street, opening or closing credits to what you're about to experience, and I think that's really cool. Half light bulb. If you're at Disneyland and you go down to the Coke corner,
love this one. I always look at this one.
Look up toward the door in the corner, you will see that right above the door there is a light bulb painted both red and white. That's because everything has to be perfectly symmetrical. Another legend is that Walt was one day walking down Main Street and noticed two white or two red light bulbs next to each other in this spot, and that simply wouldn't do. So he had Imagineers paint half of the light bulb the opposite color, so that way when they met in the middle, everything would be symmetrical. And it just serves as one of these quirky things that Disneyland has, and the extents Disney will go to make sure the attention to detail in their park is better than anyone else's. I don't see Legoland with any half-painted light bulbs. Weird. Monorail deaths. Okay, now we're getting into some more of the gruesome aspects. I can dig it. This refers to the deaths that have happened on the Walt Disney World and Disneyland monorail. Like on June 8th of 1966, Thomas Cleveland from Northridge, California was killed while attempting to sneak into the park by climbing onto the monorail track. Obviously, he got hit by a monorail and yeah, it's very sad that someone had to lose their life, but like also don't do that. The second one, though, is way more sad. In 2009, during a failed track switchover from the Epcot line onto the Magic Kingdom Express line, Monorail Pink backed to Monorail Purple at the TTC, killing Monorail Purple's 21-year-old pilot. That's a horrible tragedy. Mr. One Way. Hey, I actually recently talked about this one. Mr. One Way is the ghost of a man who will ride alongside single riders at Disneyland Space Mountain. Allegedly, he has red hair and will disappear by the time you get off the attraction. Where was that person sitting next to you? I'm sure the ride operators don't know. Hopefully he didn't fall out back there in the big dark show building, and the video that you see playing right now is the only recorded evidence we have of Mr. One Way. Unless, again, you all have more that I haven't seen. Please.
So weird.
Please let me know. He's called Mr. One Way obviously because he never gets off the ride. He only gets on and disappears halfway through. America Sings Death. Now this... You're trying to get me all sad here today. This is another horrible tragedy that happened at America Sings, formerly known as Innoventions, formerly known as Star Wars Launch Bay, now known as the empty building at the back of Tomorrowland at Disneyland. The building was home to the Carousel of Progress after it was retired from the World's Fair, but when the carousel was brought over to Walt Disney World so more people could see it, America Sings replaced it. In 1974, an 18-year-old cast member named Deborah Stone was accidentally crushed to death between two walls of the building between 10:35 p.m. and 10:40 p.m. Not a very magical story, but it happened, so it's important to acknowledge this. And those same animatronics are actually in Splash Mountain to this day. Just fun fact. The Haunted Mansion security footage. Hey, I talked about this in the same video that I talked about Mr. One Way in. If you look here, you can see security footage of the outside of the Haunted Mansion leading toward the Rivers of America. And if you look closely, you can sort of see the silhouette of a man walking out of the mansion. Is this a ghost escaping, bringing the number down to 998 happy haunts? Or because this is still in the day of videotape, is this a double exposure of a maintenance worker or perhaps park guest leaving the mansion?
Oh, weird.
Could be either one of them, but probably the second one.
Oh,
I'm not ruling out the first one though,
creepy.
which leads us to this one. The Haunted Mansion is actually
Only
haunted.
saw him in
Now, there
both
are
cameras.
tons of
That's
ghost
the
stories for
crazy
Haunted Mansion.
thing.
The Crying Boy, the Man with the Cane, all of them can be found on doombuggies.com, but there are multiple reports from cast members and guests alike over the years of some unexplained phenomena going on inside the mansion. Is it just a trick of the light, your senses playing tricks with you, or are there actually spirits haunting the halls, bringing the number up to probably 1002 or 3, breaking the whole, 999 haunts thing? All I know is it can get quite unnerving in there in the late hours of the night when you're essentially by yourself in the mansion. I also highly recommend going in there by yourself at the late hours of the night. Helps build that immersion. Pirates of the Caribbean Real Bones. Now, this is what I was talking about. Allegedly, back when Pirates of the Caribbean opened in 1967, all of the skeletons in the cave scene were made using real human skeletons obtained from the local college. Now, obviously, these bones are too pearly white. If you look at them up close, they look too perfect. And that's because if they were at one point real bones, they have since been switched out for fake skeletons. But one remnant of the real human bones that used to allegedly be in Pirates of the Caribbean sit on the headboard above the magnifying glass pirate and the cave scene. Now, if you look at this skull compared to all the others, it's slightly bigger and a bit more discolored, less bleached than the other ones. Is this a real human skull?
No.
I choose to believe that it is. Especially if you look at close-up pictures of this. The other skulls
That looks
don't look like
fucking
that. It's got
real.
imperfections, and if it's an old skull, obviously it's going to have some flaws. I'm just curious whose skull it is. Who donated their body to science all those years ago, hoping to be used for the advancement of science and humanity as a whole, only to be used as a prop instead in a Disneyland attraction.
Do they think it was that?
Platform
It's usually
Delta.
like black
Now,
market
for a little background,
shit.
in the Tower of Terror at Hollywood Studios, there are 4 loading platforms: Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta, which load into 2 drop shafts named Echo and Foxtrot. Easy. As the story goes, many years ago, a bellhop was working Platform Delta and loading guests onto the attraction.
This
Suddenly,
video's
though, for
so
some
long.
weird unknown reason, he dropped dead right there on the spot as guests were loading into Delta. At the end of each night, the bellhop working each platform has to ride through and make sure the attraction is running as it should. Yes, that means the cast member running Platform Delta has to as well. Cast members have said that they will do platforms Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie before moving on to Platform Delta altogether. They write it all together. And this is all because
That's so
the ghost of the
spooky.
cast member who died that night at Platform D still haunts that shaft to this day. The attraction would shut down or freeze, and the lights would go on and off at weird times. And the ghosts on the attraction wouldn't be on their cue when they were set to appear on certain floors. Now, I'm spending a lot of time on this one, but you may be noticing some similarities between this and the George story from the Magic Kingdom. And yeah, I think this is just Hollywood Studios' own version of George. Moving on, Walt is alive. Now, this one is a bit confusing to me. Walt Disney is dead and cremated. He's at Forest Lawn Cemetery. Or it could be a conspiracy theory that he somehow faked his own death and either is surviving to this very day, even though he would be over 100 years old, or that, you know, it ties back to the Walt's frozen head theory, being underneath Pirates of the Caribbean, that he could come back any day now. It's all just a theory that Walt Disney never died in the first place. It was all just a stunt. And now we go down to creepier opening day Mickey Mouse. Snow White dies. Now, this theory can relate to either the movie or the theme park attraction. It's sort of the same story in both, but it all stems from the fact that after Snow White takes a bite of the poison apple, she dies, at least in the story, until the handsome prince comes, gives her true love's kiss, and brings her back to life, eventually leading her away into his glowing kingdom, surrounded by clouds, which, if you look at it, kind of sounds and looks like heaven. I think this is just people misinterpreting how the prince's kingdom and Snow White's happily ever after is somewhat a kind of paradise, kind of like the Christian heaven. And the same stands for the new Snow White's Enchanted Wish as well. It's the same kind of ending with the storybook there at the end. So, I mean, choose to believe what you want, but I think she's alive. Escape from Tomorrow. Now, I was gonna do a video solely on this topic a long time ago. I still haven't gotten around to it, but if you guys are interested, please let me know. Escape from Tomorrow is an independent thriller film directed by Randy Moore that's actually filmed inside Walt Disney World without the permission of Disney. And depending on who you ask, it's either a work of genius comparable to movies by David Lynch or a really, really bad garbled mess of a movie. I am in the second camp. I think it's terrible, like truly awful. Maybe I'll do a watch along, but the movie is very bad. People were waiting for Disney's response on the movie to see if they would sue or if they would ban actors and directors from the parks for life, but Disney didn't do anything, and they didn't comment on it. So that hope for free publicity provided by Disney kind of fell flat. I don't know, watch it on your own, form your own opinions. I think it's not very good. Like, very worse than not good. It's bad. It's very bad. Discovery Island. Now, we've made a couple videos on this in the past. It's an abandoned island that sort of served as a precursor to Animal Kingdom before Animal Kingdom was ever open. It was sort of a wildlife sanctuary that was closed and essentially just abandoned by Disney. They left everything except for the animals there, and it's still there to this day, just rotting away, exposed to the elements there on Bay Lake. You can drive past it in a boat if you want to. I've done it before.
On starboard side here, you can see Discovery Island.
Big Red. Now this actually relates to the real Animal Kingdom, specifically to Kilimanjaro Safari and a dropped storyline that existed in the early days of the attraction. Originally, the story was that poachers had caught a mother elephant and her child, Big Red and Little Red, and it was our job to hunt down the poachers and save the elephants. Unfortunately, we could only get to one of them in time. Big Red, the mother, was slaughtered horribly by the poachers, and yes, you did drive by a desiccated corpse of a mother elephant. Pretty dark stuff. This was all just for cast member previews. By the actual grand opening of the ride, the bloody elephant was removed, and Little Red was saved at the end, until they removed Little Red also. Now, if you ride Kilimanjaro Safaris, there is no story, but you can still see references to Big and Little Red in the queue if you keep an eye out. Hell. Now, I am assuming this is a reference to when you get hit by a train and sent to the netherworld in Mr. Toad's Wild Ride at Disneyland. Yes, it's hot. There are little tiny rubber devils and a dragon there at the end before you get sent back to Toad Hall. It's very dark, but also very silly, and something that I think sets Mr. Toad's Wild Ride apart from all of the other Fantasyland rides and makes it the best out of all of them. Although I'm not sure why this is 3 tiers down. I mean, it's sort of a self-explanatory part of the ride, but hey, I guess it is a bit dark, so yeah, put it down there. This next one is also really dark. Javier Cruz was a cast member who was killed in 2004 in an accident behind the scenes in Walt Disney World. The police had ruled it a horrible accident after a float had ran over the man. Urban explorers blackmail.
How many
Now
deaths
this
has
just
there
goes about the
been?
way Disney has decided to punish some of the urban explorers who break into behind the scenes areas at the Disney parks. Now this isn't something I feel completely qualified to talk about because I would never go about doing these things myself, and it's also a legal issue, probably still ongoing. Essentially, it's just a big old tangled up legal mess that I have no authority to comment on at all. But if you're interested in learning more, there are plenty of channels covering this. Just go ahead and search it up. You'll find something. Haunted Mansion Window Ghost. Now this,
so cool.
oh, I know about this one. I can comment on this one. This is an old effect that used to happen at the Disneyland Mansion and still happens at the Walt Disney World Mansion. If you visit the Haunted Mansion at night and look through the windows in the front of the house, you may notice a ghostly orb floating through the halls. Now, unless they fixed it with the recent renovation of the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland, this does not exist, but at Disney World, you can still see it from time to time. It's a pretty cool effect that adds just a little bit of extra atmosphere while you wait in line. No one can die at Disney. Now, this is a very commonly retold myth. Myth as in not true. People say when someone is killed or gravely injured at the Disney parks, they are first moved off property in order to be pronounced dead so that no one can ever technically die at the Disney parks. Now, you can die at Disneyland or Disney World, it's happened before, but in order to be pronounced legally dead, it has to be done by a doctor or EMT or someone who is qualified. And usually those qualified people are at the hospitals, which are, yes, off property. But that's not to say no one has ever been pronounced dead on property. It has happened on multiple occasions. So the next time someone tells you that nobody dies at Disney, you have to tell them that that is both legally and factually incorrect. It does happen, it's just rare. Moving on down to, emu meat. Now, I don't know why this one caught on the way that it did, but this came from a late night interview with Zachary Levi where he talked about how big the turkey legs are at the Disney parks and how it could be emu meat. It was just a joke and people really took it and ran with it. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's just because he's so darn charming. Maybe it's because it's actually made out of emu meat.
It's a good point.
No, it's turkey. Yet another myth, although this one is on the newer side, so it's interesting seeing it pop up in new places. Jungle Cruise frogs. Now, this is an abandoned effect, sort of like the ghostly orb in the Haunted Mansion we talked about
They're so cute.
So there used to be frog animatronics at the Magic Kingdom's Jungle Cruise, but they have since been removed because they looked, quote, too silly, even though there are a lot of animals in that attraction, and a lot of them look silly, if you ask me personally. Bring back the frogs, Disney. What are you doing? The Matterhorn Christmas tree. Now this was in the early days of Disneyland, before Halloween and Christmas parties, but they did sort of decorate. During the holiday season, back when the Matterhorn was new, they would put a giant twinkling star on top of it to make it sort of look like a Christmas tree. I mean, it kind of does. So if you think about it, this was kind of the first Disney attraction with a holiday overlay. It's Matterhorn Holiday, except there weren't any changes on the inside, it was just the star on the outside. Bring back the Matterhorn Christmas tree. Come on, Disney, what are you doing?
I
like
UFO. Now, I know what UFO stands for, and I'm sure you do too, and there are lots of stories revolving around these mysterious flying objects. Wait, that's MFO. Unidentified flying objects. Now, this could be referring to the SpaceX flight that happened over Tomorrowland. You can see a picture of it here. It's really cool. Or just general UFO sightings at Disneyland or Walt Disney World. Or maybe they're referring to the Horizon spaceship that's in the Backlot Express at Hollywood Studios. That's a few tiers deep, if you ask me. Westcott, the famous canceled second park for the Disneyland Resort modeled after Epcot at Walt Disney World that was too expensive, never ended up happening, and was replaced eventually by what we have today, Disney California Adventure. I mean, hey, you got the space with the Toy Story lot. I mean, just build another parking garage somewhere else, and, you know, Westcott. Do Westcott. It's my second favorite Disney park behind Disneyland. Epcot is. They never built Westcott. Moving on, Galaxy's Edge cover-up. Now, I had to do a little research on this one, but this mainly comes down to what I got from this video is an untrue conspiracy about Disney trying to make Galaxy's Edge seem more popular than it actually was, when in reality it was extremely popular. You know, you don't need a genius to tell you that. I don't know what people had to gain by lying about how full Galaxy's Edge was when it opened. I guess it's just, you know, the Disney fans love to hate on Disney. But yeah, Disney wasn't paying people to make Galaxy's Edge look like it was completely full and out of merchandise. It actually was just completely full and out of merchandise. Believe me, I was there. This one, this is dumb. Land in Texas. Now, this has been circulating through the Disney rumor mill forever, and I mean forever. The rumor is that Disney has recently bought land in Texas for their third American resort. It pops up every now and then, and people are convinced that it is going to be announced at the next D23, but it never is. And I don't think it ever will be. And now that I've gone on record saying that, please look forward to Disney announcing their third resort at the next D23, built in Texas. You're welcome. Slain Knights. Now, this is an entire can of worms to open on its own. The Slain Knights existed at Disney's Animal Kingdom right outside the Dragon's Cave. You see, Beastly Kingdom is an old, canceled, mythological land at Disney's Animal Kingdom that was supposed to center around things like unicorns and dragons and offhand Disney's media pass, you know, mythical creatures. And because it was planned for phase 2 of Animal Kingdom, they wanted to place a few teasers around the park, which is why you can see a dragon in the logo and a dragon's head above one of the ticket booths. And when the park first opened, along the rivers that surrounded Discovery Island, a dragon's cave that periodically bellowed fire and had the bodies of skewered knights outside, which was 1, very graphic, 2, probably frightened a lot of children, and 3, friggin' awesome. They have since been removed, but you can still find the dragon's cave to this day.
You go to bed, but this stuff is so interesting, right?
Chewy mode. Now, this one was actually discovered
I'm gonna go to bed probably after this video, but this video's gone along.
If you press a certain combination of buttons before the ride actually starts, you will unlock Chewy mode, which replaces all of Honda's narration with Chewy. A little cool Easter egg that the Imagineers threw in there for those super big Star Wars fans, the ones going to discover all the secrets. The Yippies Riot. Now, I actually didn't know about this, so I had to look it up, and here is my general understanding of the Yippies Riot. Now, the Yippies, or the Youth International Party, was a political party founded in 1968 by Jerry Rubin and Abby Hoffman. Now, if you look at your local election ballot, you will notice that the Youth International Party no longer quite makes the cut.
My history
Back
class
in the
in high
70s,
school.
they were huge. So huge, in fact, that they shut down Disneyland for a day, demanding the liberation of Minnie Mouse, you know, a fictional character, a wage hike for Frontierland's Native American dancers, and the conversion of Aunt Jemima's Kitchen into a Black Panthers themed breakfast joint. The group of people, not the Marvel superhero. And yeah, this protest was it was a big one. Riot police were called out. You can see them here on Main Street, USA. A bit of a mess, if you ask me. Luckily, there haven't been any in-park protests nearly this large since. And I just know the way I described that is going to make some people mad. Just know that I am dumb, and I see the world through the eyes of a man who idolizes the mummy on the Haunted Mansion, so just keep that in mind. The Tiki Room fire. Now, this is another sort of myth, sort of confirmed semi-fact, that a fire broke out at the Tiki Room under new management attraction, burning parts of the show that were exclusive to the under new management version, which is what caused the eventual reversion to the original Tiki Room. Well, sort of the original Tiki Room. It's shortened and not as good as Disneyland's, but it is the original Tiki Room. So in the end, all it took was an act of God to bring back our original, much beloved Tiki Room. COVID cover-up. Another cover-up conspiracy. Okay, let's get into this one. Now, I think this one is a lot more plausible than the Galaxy's Edge cover-up because, you know, that actually did not happen. This might have happened. The COVID cover-up is a conspiracy theory that Disney was hiding all of the cases of COVID that came up from its parks, both for cast members and guests. This was in the height of the pandemic, and they wanted people to visit their parks, so they covered up cases to make it seem like they were the safest place on earth. Even though you're in a public theme park, and even if you're wearing a mask the entire time, accidents happen. So I mean, come on, there are definitely people being infected with COVID because of the parks. Moving on down to this Mickey, who admittedly is actually kind of precious. The Disney Quest fire. A fire that happened at Disney Quest. Allegedly, even though there was no structural damage, the firefighters did show up, and no one saw the flames or smoke, but they showed up. Was there a fire? I guess we'll never know. The Boneyard. Aside from being a children's play area at Animal Kingdom and Dino Land, I assume this is talking about the mythical scrapyard Disney sends all of their animatronic parts and abandoned effects. This one is real, and there's lots of locations around the Disney parks where they keep old, either abandoned or unused ride vehicles and animatronics, set pieces, things like that. You're mostly going to find them in an area known as
what I would give to look at that stuff.
Good luck getting access to that, though.
That's my Titanic.
An old people mover vehicle in there. The Alien Encounter documentary. Now this is real. It was called Alien Encounters from New Tomorrowland, and it released in 1995 and starred, of course, Michael Eisner as himself. It was promotion for the upcoming extraterrestrial alien encounter ride, which is infamous now. The host, Robert Urich, would detail a history of UFO sightings and then tie that into the new Tomorrowland coming to Disney World. You can watch the entire thing on YouTube. It's available. Just type in Alien Encounter from New Tomorrowland and it'll pop up if you're interested. Both a cool piece of the Eisner era and a leftover remnant of the Alien Encounter ride. Secret caves into Disneyland. Now, as far as I can tell, this myth came from a YouTuber known as David August, who filmed himself entering a secret cave to Disneyland and re-emerging on Tom Sawyer Island.
What?
And if you know anything about Disneyland, he filmed himself going in one side of the caves on Tom Sawyer Island and coming out the other side. Although I suppose I helped keep this rumor going because I did have a video where I went into a cave, or a drainage pipe rather, and came out on Main Street, USA. So both of us are equally at fault here, David. Secret tunnels that run into Disneyland, though,
it was during
that is a
Pixar
myth.
Fest too.
Secret tunnels in Disneyland, well, that's a different story. Madame Leota real seance. Now again, I'm just gonna go out on a ledge here. I don't think that this is very widely known information. If it is, I do not know what it means, but either A, there's unused Madame Leota dialogue out there somewhere that was used previously to the one that we have today, or B, that she's actually summoning real spirits through the seance lines in the attraction, which is obviously not true. Unless it is, which would explain the Haunted Mansion really being haunted thing all the way up in Tier 2. Alright, B is accurate. B is the one. Proposition 65. California's Proposition 65, also known as the Safe Drinking Water and Toxic Enforcement Act, became law in 1986 and is intended to, quote, help Californians make informed decisions about protecting themselves from chemicals that could cause cancer, birth defects,
literally
or other
on every single freaking thing
if
everywhere.
those words I'm saying sort of ring a bell to you, you've probably been to Disneyland before and been to any of their restaurants. These are very common at all of the walk-up restaurants around the Disney Resort, and no, drinking a mint julep will not give you cancer or cause birth defects. For example, coffee contains acrylamide, which in high enough doses has been known to cause cancer in animals, but odds are if you were to drink 18 gallons of coffee, you wouldn't get cancer, you would just be able to see sounds. But when it comes to California's Proposition 65, I suppose no one could ever be too careful. Tower of Terror, body under the stairs. Now, I thought I was insane when I was a child when I found this, but turns out other people noticed this too. Now this was at California's Tower of Terror, and after you got off the ride and looked under the staircase, that's still there today, just no more body, you could see a pair of legs sticking out from behind a bag. A little macabre joke put there by the Imagineers, one that will be sorely missed. Cartoon Man. Now this doesn't actually have anything to do with the Disney parks, this is actually a Disney creepypasta written by Freaky Attractions. If you want to find out more, head over to the Freaky Attractions YouTube channel. They have a ton of creepypastas based around Disney and the Disney parks. That's what this one is. Cartoon Man is just a story. Unused Muppet Vision pre-show. A mythical, unused version of the Muppet Vision 3D pre-show that I'm not sure ever existed. You can find the entire pre-show online. Maybe this is referring to the Muppets Great Movie Ride attraction, which probably would feature a pre-show, but was eventually canceled due to the death of Jim Henson. And unless there is an unused Muppet Vision pre-show out there circulating, nothing in my books or any web research has shown any proof of that existing. Maybe there is. Maybe there is, though. Muppet fans, Disney Dans, let me know in the comments down below.
I don't get anything about Disney World. I've never been to Disney World. I want to know about all these little inns.
think I
There's
just
so much
uttered an
more to
incantation
know.
of some sort. Haunted Mansion 1966 version. Now, the Haunted Mansion opened in 1969. Earlier in its life cycle, though, it was planned on being a walk-through exhibit, sort of like how the stretching room and changing portrait hallway are today at California. After the introduction of the Omnimover ride system, though, it was decided to go with that instead because it would be easier to move guests through the different scenes. Because if it was a walkthrough, everyone would want to linger. I know I would, and that would not be good for throughput. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride last night. Now, it used to be at both Disneyland and Walt Disney World, but unfortunately, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride no longer exists at the Magic Kingdom. And back before the days of everybody getting mad at Disney on Twitter, everyone had to get mad at Disney in person, and so there were protests outside of the Magic Kingdom and outside the parks that day.
It's a good compromise, though. You got Winnie the Pooh.
Mr. Toad was a really, really big movement that never ended up working, and they replaced it with the mini adventures of Winnie the Pooh nonetheless, although we can still see remnants of him inside the ride and outside the Haunted Mansion. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea leak. Is this referring to the upcoming Disney Plus movie? Or is it referring to an actual leak that happened to the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea lagoon at the Magic Kingdom? One can't be too sure. Or perhaps it's even a reference to the hidden Nautilus in the tree outside of Winnie the Pooh. Either way, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea may be coming back in some form sometime in the future, and that may or may not be the actual leak. You're welcome. Eskner's Keep. Now, this is a typo referring to Escher's Keep, which is a fictional location inside of Cinderella Castle in Orlando referred to in the Kingdom Keepers novels. It's a sort of walk-through MC Escher-style chamber that would spit you back out into the castle moat if you took a wrong turn, although that does sound like a really fun walk-through attraction. Not only do you get to see some cool special effects inside the castle, but you also get to go for a swim if you do anything wrong. Lost
I don't like it when they
Pavilions.
put
Okay, now
creepy
this is something
anthropomorphic
I'm very, very
face
passionate about. When Epcot
creepy
opened
shit.
in 1982, Disney had
No,
set
thank
aside
you.
areas for more pavilions to be opened throughout the years than just the ones that were there on opening day. There are 11 pavilions there today: Canada, UK, France, Japan, the American Adventure, Italy, Germany, China, and Mexico, and absent on opening day were Morocco and Norway. Where the Millennium Village, or Weird Festival Center, is located today was going to be another pavilion. Equatorial Africa was going to go where that weird mini Africa pavilion is in between China and Germany, and there were plans for other pavilions like Russia and Israel, but they were cancelled, most likely due to the political connotations those two countries carried back then, and honestly to this day. Not to mention there were a few cancelled rides for pavilions that did end up being built, like the Rhine River
So
Cruise, the Thames
random.
River Cruise. Something tells me people in Disney like cruising down rivers. There was going to be a Spain pavilion, Fuji coaster, a Matterhorn clone. What could have been? Atlantis Expedition. Now, before Finding Nemo's submarine voyage opened at Disneyland, there was an idea to turn it into an Atlantis-themed ride. The plan got so far ahead into
Down.
production that Disney even put up a sign above the loading area that said Atlantis Expedition Imagineering Preparation Base. Everyone could see it when you just walked past the lagoon. Now, this was before Atlantis was released into theaters, and when it was and underperformed, they went instead with Finding Nemo years later. So to all those Atlantis fans out there, sorry, you almost had an attraction. Almost. Epcot phone number. No, this is not the customer support number for the second best Disney theme park of all time. This is a phone number you could use to call the phone booths in the UK Pavilion and the World Showcase. This is real. Now, why do I say could? Well, that's because you can't really do it anymore. The numbers have been disconnected, or Disney turned them off. One of the two.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. Your call cannot be completed as the called party is temporarily unavailable. Please try again later. Welcome to Verizon Wireless. Your call cannot be completed as the called party is temporarily unavailable. Please try again later.
Well, that was rude. But either way, you used to be able to call these phones from anywhere in the world and just have a chat with whoever was posing by it or inside of it at the time. Ask them how their day
That's
at Epcot's
so
going. Ask them if they're
cool.
excited for Remy's Ratatouille Adventure opening October 1st.
There's very
or ask them
obvious
if they
reasons
managed to
why
get
they
a
can't do that
reservation
anymore.
for Space 220. All of these things, except for the first one, they wouldn't have possibly
Maybe
known
somebody
about
was,
back in
like,
the times it was
monitoring it?
open.
Like,
As for
moderating
calling
it?
from the phone booths, I'm not sure. I don't think you can, but I will check in with you guys next week. Go to my
Just,
Twitter
like,
at OffhandDisney if you're interested to see
buzz
me
line.
inside the phone booth trying to place a call. Disney Secret Service.
being
Now, this
creepy
is
or weird.
almost common knowledge. I would say this just
so
belongs
cool.
a couple tiers up, maybe not the second to last tier, but I mean, if you know, you know. Disney security will sometimes dress up as plainclothes guests and walk around the park looking like you and I, but actually on the prowl for any no-good ne'er-do-wells. Trying to climb the Mexico Pavilion Pyramid?
Right to jail.
Trying to spread ashes inside the Haunted Mansion?
Right to jail. Right away.
Any guest waiting in line next to you at the Mint Julep bar or Mission Space could be a security cast member undercover. Just remember that next time you have the sudden urge to run backstage and check out the progress on the Play Pavilion. Seriously, what's going on back there? I need to know. And finally, the final tier, the last, deepest, darkest point of the iceberg, we have creepy Mickey from the 60s, or from probably the 50s. Ratatouille ride canceled. Now, this one we can kind of just strike from the list because this chart was made 8 months ago, and back then there was a rumor going around that Ratatouille had been canceled. Obviously, that never ended up happening, and Ratatouille is opening next week, as of the making of this video. Honestly, I can't tell you why this ever was a theory. I mean, the inside to the Ratatouille ride has allegedly been finished for about 1.5 to 2 years now, or at least near completion. Especially 8 months ago, that ride was done. I promise you, the ride was finished inside. So strike this one from the record. This one doesn't matter at all. The Ratatouille ride is not canceled. Do not worry. It never will be. It's opening next week. It never was. It was just delayed. Now, the Mary Poppins ride in the UK Pavilion, that's a different story. We can replace, let's just go on here and done. Perfect. Honestly, I am a firm non-believer of the blank ride has been canceled due to COVID theories, but this one might have been canceled. Disney Cemetery. Now, this one really isn't all that descriptive. It could be referring to the Imagineers' names on the tombstones outside of the Haunted Mansion. And, you know, I'm a sucker for the Haunted Mansion. The whole instance with the Spider-Man gravestone that happened a couple years ago, that was just a long story. The Secret Pet Cemetery outside the Haunted Mansion in Anaheim, or Mr. Toad in the Pet Cemetery outside the mansion in Orlando. Or it could be referring to the Forest Lawn Cemetery, which is where Walt Disney's ashes are interred, along with his wife Lillian and their daughter Sharon. Or maybe there's a wacky, fun, Disney-themed cemetery somewhere in the nation and I'm completely missing here. Take your pick, it could be one or all of these that I mentioned. Michael Eisner blackmail. Now, this has a whole bunch of backstory, so we'll start with MGM Studios. During the construction of MGM Studios, now known as Hollywood Studios in Orlando, Disney was planning on building another sort of semi-theme park in Burbank. This would be a retail and dining area mixed with a couple theme park attractions and themed areas. Think like Disney Springs with 1 or 2 rides. And if you're saying to yourself, well, that sounds very close and very similar to Universal Studios, you would be correct. MCA, the company that at the time owned Universal Studios, alleged that, quote, Disney had privately offered earlier this year to withdraw from the Burbank plan if MCA would give up on its proposed Florida Studios tour. Essentially, if you don't build the backlot tour at Universal Studios in Florida, we won't build our MGM Studios in Burbank. Michael Eisner and Jeffrey Katzenberg denied these allegations, saying that, you know, this was completely made up and Disney hadn't said anything of the sort. At the end of the day, though, it seems that Universal got their way because they did end up building the backlot tour in Orlando, and also the Burbank MGM Studios was canceled because on top of the alleged blackmail that Disney had pulled with MCA, they also tried to get the city of Burbank to foot the bill. They wanted cheaper land for the new area, and they wanted the city to build a brand new parking structure. Burbank said, no. And so the project was canceled. But now we have California Adventure, so I mean, not the darkest timeline. Pete, mascot. Now, I really hate when they call these characters mascots. They're just called characters. Just a personal thing, though, but there used to be a Peg Leg Pete walk-around character you could meet at the parks. He is exceedingly rare, but I don't know why this one specifically is on the bottom tier. There are other extremely rare characters, but I mean, you look at him, he is, kind of terrifying, so okay, alright, this is fine. This belongs here. Walt's final ride. Now, there is a lot of debate as to what attraction Walt worked on last before he died. You could say Pirates of the Caribbean or the Haunted Mansion because New Orleans Square was the last land that opened before Walt passed, or you could say some things in New Tomorrowland. It opened after he was died, but it still carried a lot of the visionary ideals that Walt himself had, like the People Mover. Bring back the People Mover. Why aren't we talking about the People Mover? And I personally think he had to have helped out with attractions like Adventure Through Inner Space. The very last ride he had been on and actually ridden, I'm going to say, was Pirates of the Caribbean. Maybe not a full finished version of the ride, but he definitely helped test it out. And as we arrive here at the end of the iceberg, we come face to face with Wishes Make a Wish. Now this is false. It's a myth. It's
ending
not
this
real.
last one.
Let me just temper your expectation. Now this iceberg, we come face to face with Wishes Make a Wish. Now this is false. It's a myth, it's not real. Let me just temper your expectations before we get into it here. But the myth goes like this, is that a little girl loved Disney so much, and she was a Make-A-Wish child because she was terminally ill, her wish was to be a part of a Disney nighttime spectacular, or a Disney show in general. So, before she tragically passed away, she got to record one line for the brand new Wishes fireworks show coming to the Magic Kingdom. And the little girl you hear singing at the very beginning of the show, that was the Make-A-Wish child. And I've seen people say that that was the reason they were really heartbroken that Wishes was going away. That this little girl's final Make-A-Wish request was thrown by the wayside in order to bring about a new and better fireworks show happily ever after. But, sorry to break it to you folks, this isn't real. This is a completely made-up story. It never happened. The opening line was sung by none other than a person named Charity Ferris, who is very much alive. Not a Make-A-Wish kid, just a singer that Disney hired and paid to sing the opening line. So you're gonna have to find another reason why your sad wishes went away. Any other reason would probably be justified though. Wishes going away is fine. It opened in 2003 and ran all the way to 2017. Happily Ever After going away, on the other hand, is a crime. It opened in 2017 and its last show is next week as of the recording of this video. And heck, half a year of its technical run time didn't even happen because the parks were closed. Happily Ever After needs to come back in some form after Enchantment goes away from the 50th. Although, to be completely honest, Enchantment also looks amazing. So at least there's that. Patrick Begora woke up one bright morning feeling very Oh, hi. What, the iceberg? The Arctic? No, I'm having a little staycation reading to my friend here. Why would I?
Oh, man. Well. Ooh. Alrighty, y'all. Well, that was a really fun, quick, impromptu, late night cozy stream. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the follows and the stubbies tonight. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't gotten the chance to. It really helps out the channel. Also, if you haven't followed yet, it is very helpful because it does tell you, it gives you a little notification when we do go live. So that is very helpful. Otherwise, I will see you guys. Not sure about tomorrow yet. We might have a plan, we might have not, because I am going out of town this weekend, so that does affect my streaming schedule. So we haven't quite figured out how we want to figure out the days off, but I'll probably be streaming tomorrow during the day if I can, and then Wednesday depends. It'll probably be a really late night stream, so. And then this weekend we're gonna go to H3 live and then go to Disney, so that'll be fun. Excited about that. And on that note, thank you guys so much for being here and watching a little Disney conspiracy time. How are you guys doing? You guys have a good night here? You guys enjoy? We all asleep? That's okay too. I encourage sleeping on this channel. If you're asleep, hey. I know you're in a dream right now, but just remember that the first thing you should do when you wake up is to follow Frida Brina on Twitch. Just make sure when you wake up, just follow Frida Brina on Twitch. All the ones of you sleeping. You hear that? That's your homework. Alrighty. Have a great night, you guys. An add-on, I guess. Yeah, have a great night. Any advice? Oh yeah, don't go on that Titanic submarine thing. Even if you're rich enough, just don't do it. It's a bad idea. I don't recommend it. I definitely don't recommend going on the Titanic little sub thing. But we'll see what happens. They might have had they might have just discovered like something crazy. Who knows? Is that insensitive? I wonder that. I don't know. Alrighty, I will see you guys tomorrow. I love you guys so much. Really, really appreciate you all. I really, really do. And make sure to check out my socials, especially my YouTube channel and my TikTok. If you haven't gotten to follow me on TikTok yet, please do. It's the same as my other socials, just at Fritabrina. Trying to get to 1,000 1,000 followers on TikTok. It'll really help our growth because a lot of people actually stream on TikTok too. But the problem with TikTok is that they don't let you live stream unless you have 1,000 followers, which is really hard to do. So it'll be a little bit of work, but we can do it. We can do it, chat. So, do you have any good ones? No, that'd be kind of cringe. I'm like not gonna sit here and play my TikToks for you guys. Oh man. All right, you guys, I hope you had a good night. I hope you enjoyed the dance party. The clips are gonna be the only things that exist of them. And they might not even have the audio, so hope you enjoyed that. All right, have a great night. I love you all very much. Good night, have a good night. I love you all very much. I always start doing this when I'm not ready to say bye. Goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye.